What is up, you guys? It is us MK Boards here providing you with probably one of the best casts you guys will ever see this season. Division 2 Finals, EXOL. I'm here with my boy Kona,
Hello,
and
hello.
we're here to give you a show, boys. So let's just bring up the lineups. See what's up with that.
To start with, we have EXO. They're running Artie, Tekken, Yashter, Zane with Mank bagging. Uh, I correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the same thing they ran in the semifinals cast, and it's really reliable for them. It's what they go with most of the time, save for maybe one guy rotating in for someone. But they keep it short, and they've got great chemistry. Generally, I would say to keep your eye out, of course, for Artie. That is the pod we have today. And Yashter, and I mean, really, everyone, they're all known to go big in playoff settings. They always see themselves as more of a league team than anything else. That's where they play best. So definitely, you'll see a lot of good speed up front, and people like Yashter and especially Artie are really good at getting out of the pack. As far as
So
Mank goes, well, we've seen him completely shine against no matter who he plays against. So I really expect nothing different here, even if it is a bit closer. So that's about it for them from me.
Well, here the thing that you got to take into account is these two teams are veteran squads.
Absolutely.
Like these teams have played for like a number of years. These teams know who they're playing with. They have chemistry established. So like this isn't a question of like how each teammate is gonna play together and all that stuff. These teams know what they're doing. They're in the finals for a reason. And this is why we're here. These two teams are just as capable to beat the other team. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
like I think what it comes down to is, you know, like variables outside of the players, because we already know, like, if you make D2 finals, you're a good team. So there's no question about which player is good, which player is like going to be in the back or the front. This is just going to be a question of who's going to be the better team this war. And I think that both both respective teams have their players who they know for a fact will step up when it matters. And of course, this is the time when it matters. So let's go to the L lineup. Let's just see, like what's going on over there. And we have Taka, Jed, Matt, Zesty, and Maxi. So um, they don't have Macy, I don't think. But I mean, this is basically just as good of a lineup. I know like Taka. I haven't played with him before, but he's an extremely good player. Jed, I've definitely played with Jed before. He's a good player as well. I mean, these guys are very established players. Like I can't really say like, oh, like this player is better than the other. Like these two teams are solid squads.
No,
You know,
definitely.
so
There's
it's like
no
I don't want to
carry
be
on
too
either side.
biased towards each side. Yeah, like they're both D2 teams in the finals. So like this is gonna come down to like which team is gonna be able to pull the most shots, which team is gonna have the more presence up top, which team is gonna be able to utilize their items, like schlagging, double backing, you know, just stuff like that. Because I feel like these teams are good enough to where we don't have to question their skill.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and one thing I would point out is, I mean, when it comes to the finals in this division, would you really want it any other way? I mean, these two teams have played each other countless times in leagues in the past couple years. Notably, MKPS Season 2, they played each other in all kinds of different settings, and it was pretty even on who would win and how often they would do so, even when L was debatably a stronger squad than they are now. So you have to wonder how that'll translate over to this, if they're thinking about that at all, you know.
Yeah.
And I think both teams here absolutely have something to prove to the other.
Yeah, and what I think this match, I feel like match one is probably the most important match because it sets the tone, right?
For
Like
sure.
this isn't the NBA finals where you have like 7 games, like if you lose the first match, it's not like you're completely out of it. But in a three match, finals, listen, like every match matters. You know what I'm saying? So if you
Absolutely.
lose this match, you're gonna be behind and you're gonna be kind of trailing, and you're gonna be on the lower end. You're gonna be in that desperation spot, like, hey, we have to win this war. You're gonna feel the pressure, and I think that you know regardless of what these lineups are right now, both teams are thinking, listen, like we got to be on our A game and we have to bring it because this one match can be like the deciding factor of who could potentially win the championship.
For sure. And that's just because it's such a short series. You get 3 games, and so you really only have so much time to, make a comeback if you do lose match one. You have to be on your A game after that, which EXO did notably do in semifinals against Mount Olympus. They dropped the first match by quite the margin, if I remember correctly. And after that, I mean, it just seemed like there was no question of who the better team was. So, that would also come down to which team is more capable of doing that, of coming back after a match one loss and putting it together and getting it done in the next two. And I really couldn't tell you which team has the edge there. That's very close matchup no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we both know that these teams are very, very closely matched. This is an extremely hard match to predict. I mean, I don't even know, like, I don't know if I would be confident in dropping my channel points on either of these teams. Like, I feel like either of these teams could like win me more channel points, but it's like I really, you know, this is finals, man. I mean, like it doesn't get better than this. Like this isn't like a lopsided match. Like this
For
isn't one of
sure.
those like finals that it's like, oh, like you kind of know who's gonna win, or not really know who's gonna win, but you kind of know like the team that's a little more favored to win. Like both of these teams have the baseline of what they want in this match and what they're confident with putting in here. And as we have 10 people in this room and the match is going to start, um hey, I mean, all we can say is, like let's just get this underway. Like people are waiting for a show, and man, I'm more than ready to see this.
Absolutely. This is this series is as big as it gets in D2. And I'm excited to see who comes out on top.
Yeah,
Now,
so
I don't know if you're willing, but who do you have winning? Just this match, maybe not the whole series.
I don't know about the whole series, and I'm not like a big prediction guy because like I don't like to be wrong, but like I mean, if I was to like predict, just based off of my mind, I think L takes this match.
All right, well, that works out because I got EXO. I think they're more than ready. It will not be. I mean, it's going to be close either way. I do not see a blowout of any kind, but could be wrong. But I think EXO can squeeze this one out and set some momentum for the next 2 matches.
Yeah, I mean, as we were talking about, I think our top scorers for this match, just based off of average, I'm saying that Taka and Zesty and Artie and Zane might probably be the people who might be in the top presence a lot more. But I mean, it's really hard to say because all these players are extremely good. So you're gonna see each player in a top spot. You're gonna see each player, doing, pulling their weight. It's just a matter of, palms is a big thing. Like in these matches, like they have to be on their A game in terms of, communication, calling back spams, also avoiding back spams, because you don't want to make a slight mistake that could cost a lot. There's just a lot of things that you have to take into consideration when you're looking at this match. You know what I'm saying? It's not so black and white.
No, it's not. Nothing is when you're in this high of a div. It is also worth noting, Lightspeed just confirmed that if necessary, all 3 matches will be played right here, right now. So we'll know the winner tonight, which is great to see.
Hey, I mean, you hear that, guys? We're gonna know the winner. Someone's gonna be holding that virtual trophy after this match. So, hey, I mean, I'm all for it. We're gonna have MK Boards Marathon. So like, I'm seeing Papa John's on the other side. Y'all don't really see it, but like if y'all want to get some pizza, I kind of recommend it, especially with,
Oh
because
yeah,
this,
sit back, grab a
it's
snack.
gonna be a long night, bro. It's gonna be a long night.
Now, and I really like when that happens because this makes momentum so much more of a factor. If like let's say they split two matches today, and then they didn't play another for a few days, like you end up with a whole different ball game, in my opinion. I think momentum takes a much bigger role here since they're playing all three. Kicking off, we do have Mushroom Gorge for race one.
Wow, Mushroom Gorge, man. Out of all tracks, we're picking Mushroom Gorge.
It's an
Like, bro, like,
interesting one
is
to
this the
start
world
a
we live
final
in?
series for sure.
This is the world we live in, guys.
All right, so we got the Pavel and Artie. He starts off appearing to want to go for shrooms or even something better. Oh man, he's not holding back. He does pull a star. I'm not sure if that's what he wants, but he did stop quite a bit for it. So see him going left. L possessing some of the bottom spots as well as Zane with them, so it's pretty mixed right now.
Yeah. I mean, the pack is extremely close. It's MG lap 1. There's really not much to expect. I mean, half the room's going to take Gap anyways.
Absolutely. Jed's up there with the Shroom second, as we see. So, provided he makes Gap, he's got the front presence here along with Matt. So L takes over top 2, and Yashter, Zane, and Tekken have to hold him off.
I mean, do keep in mind, Artie does have Bill in 8th, so...
Artie, yeah. He
is
I didn't see
that.
when he got that, but yep, he's still pretty much in it as well, so... that could do anything.
If you have Bill in 8th or 7th or, wherever spot, I mean, he's not that far from the pack, so we could be looking out for a shock here. There's definitely going to be a shock at some point.
Couldn't tell you for sure who has it. It looks like they are chasing each other as if one or the other does. I'm not sure if we would see it early, considering they're both going forward, but...
That's a big pow, and the shock happens, and dodges in a Bill.
As I say it, they just get it over with, and we got Artie likely taking over first, or at the very least getting close, and you have to wonder what Matt can do to save himself here. And we also have Jed in third. And he does pull triple greens. Artie finds himself in second, not pulling that shroom that he wants, but it was a bit far-fetched. Jed goes left, hoping for a shroom. We'll see if he gets one here.
Praying to God here for a shroom.
That he does not.
He gets
greens and nanas.
But a POW happens, though.
There is a POW affecting pretty much anyone, and
I think L gets 1-3.
Someone failed Gap there at the end. Couldn't tell who it was, but it did look like an L 1-3.
Yeah.
Perhaps a pretty mixed result.
It's really surprising how, Artie dodged with that Bill there and only got up to second.
Yeah, Matt had got himself quite a bit of a break. It could be a whole new ball game if he didn't. So, what I'm wondering is what caused them to use that so early, because I want to say there were no other dodgers. I could be wrong, but it's an interesting spot to use it. But I mean, the philosophy a lot of the time is if you have to use Bill, you just got to call it, unless you're a mile behind. If you're in the race with Bill, and you're in it, you can't afford to not call it.
Yeah, I mean, that is true, but hey, they're winning by 1, so they're definitely not mad at that, especially at MG where it's a very dicey track. So I'm sure they can live with that, especially winning by 1 point.
For sure. And MG can provide races that sway so hard in one direction, so I think anyone's happy with a +1 or -1 either way to kick off a match. We see EXO going RBC. They are 2-4, 5-6, I want to say, so they would be able to dominate that pretty well, I'd say. DDR, of course, is the counter pick.
Yeah, L is a 1-3 bottom too, so I mean, it could be a DDR pick, it could be a goldmine pick if they're really into that. But hey, I mean, DDR is an extremely good pick as it picks RBC, so we're gonna be seeing.
Actually, we see 9 players in the room. I'm wondering why that's the case, or what will happen with that. We might just be getting a reset.
We'll see.
L is called a reset on EXO.
All right, yeah, this is an extremely entertaining race that we're seeing here.
We have Maxi, the bagger for Lightspeed, claiming he was trying to unplug his washing machine, and he pulled out the power strip with his Wii. That is, I can't say I've seen that one before.
Mid finals, huh?
Most definitely a valid reason to call a reset.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like it's not. I mean, like it's definitely every day that we just unplug the power washer, right?
Oh man, that's a new one.
Yeah. I mean, uh, I have. I don't have any comment for that.
That's can't say I've been there before.
I, I wonder what that call is like. You know, like I wonder what they're talking about.
I don't know. I don't know. Definitely very different tones in either side. But then again, I mean, it's not like anyone had top four, so no momentum lost really. It was a pretty even race leading up to it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess since L lost the race by one, he was like, "Hey, listen, like we need the reset, we need the reset."
It could have been intentional. We have a
Yeah, yeah,
conspiracy on
yeah.
our
Maybe
hands.
it's hey, maybe it's for a reason.
Hey,
Maybe he did that on purpose.
it's the finals, whatever it takes.
Hey,
I
you
condone
just
it
gotta think on
100%.
another level. You just gotta think on. You just got like your level of thinking has to be elevated in order for you to even think about that. You know, it's not like like I unplugged my power washer. Oh, well, oh my bad. He definitely like gripped both of the cables at the same time
Oh yeah.
because yeah, he didn't want the momentum to shift
He
too
knew what
much.
he's doing.
Yeah,
With that, we will be taking a break until we get started again. So stay tuned, everyone.
sayonara.
And we are back in action. They've started the room, kicking it off on race 2. I want to say, I think they just went with normal odds. I don't know how they'll handle the getting spots back, or if either team really cares, because it was pretty even. But right here, we will see a DDR pick from EXO.
Yeah, we are seeing a DDR pick
And
and
they
a
go with
Grumble
GV to
Volcano.
counter.
Right. So if it is DDR, that isn't a bad track for
It's
2 gorge
GV
picks.
anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, this works for either set of spots. GV's kind of something you can pick whenever. I've seen people do it in top 3. Like, everyone's got their own game plan on it, and we'll see how each team handles it. I'd imagine Artie would slow for 8th again, because that is what he did last time. That he is,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, he is.
And gets the box, and here we have Triple Shrooms. Would tell you what's up with Jed, but he's got an ad on his screen. Ooh, no chain for Artie, but it's fine. That's an alright box to miss. But he also misses the next one. Jed finds himself in 6th with a red. Obviously not what you want here, but maybe you can hit someone. That he
It's a very
doesn't.
interesting decision made by Artie there. I mean, he did have triple shrooms. You could have just taken a rock there, but
Yeah,
hey,
but when you stop for 8th that hard, you want something better than that. And he does get that,
right?
of course. So, here we are with Bill in 6th. I don't imagine we'll see something like that MG shock again. Looking at the baggers, it's very split. Couldn't tell you who that is in 10th yet. Looks like Artie has to bill anyway. And as far as the baggers, that is Maxi in 10th. So, and Mank is still trying to get back, so Maxi definitely has a shot at it here.
Right. Oh, and Artie pulls a Susui in 2nd
Oh,
here. Let's see if
man.
he makes the rock. There
Where
we
have
go.
we? Oh, and he gets over
and then
with the shock.
he gets over, yeah, and
Where have we
they
seen
tried
this
GSing him in the
before?
cut. And oh my goodness, we have ourselves a matchup here, but
He
Artie
gets
gets
blued
blue and he
anyway.
stops and tries to get Zesty in the explosion, but he doesn't.
Oh,
And
and
then he
he's
gets redded.
comboed
Oh, does
off
he get
the
redded
shock?
off?
Ooh,
Oh.
what a save. What a
Jeez.
save. Jed here in 4 triple reds. Looking like, I mean, L is pretty much dominating this one. There they are, and yeah, top 4. And you have to wonder if EXO even has any kind of solution to this. All we have is Artie in 8th with a Mega, as he's a sitting duck.
You're going to have to pray for shock. You're going to have to pray for it.
They need some kind of miracle here to make this close. Artie gets into respawn, no harm, no foul. Dead shrooms around. And there doesn't seem to be much coming their way here. But, I mean, with them being top 4 prior, it could have been worse. They come up with 4, 5, 6, 7.
Right. I mean, yeah, I mean, that first shock and then the blue, and then, that was just a huge, that was just a lot of events that was going on there. And considering, yeah, the fact that L was top 4, I think EXO can live with it, even though it is kind of damaging of a race.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as getting top 4 at race 2.
It seemed that they did what they could, especially with Artie getting over the rock, even with the shock, but with the blue and the red and almost falling off after it. They got what they could out of it, and they just gotta, keep their chins up and move on.
I mean, man, that's a top 3-5. I mean, even though I said they didn't get top 4, that's that's just as bad.
It's
Of
quite
a
the
race
blow,
there.
but luckily it is early in the match, so.
And you do have to take into consideration that, this isn't GSC rules, so like we're not doing this by points. So all they have to do is win the match. So they don't have to be worried about, oh, we lost 2 points here. So, that's definitely a plus. That the rules are a little bit different here, but
Yeah.
L does take a commanding lead as they do pick BCWii and EXO picks Peach Gardens. So we're probably gonna see 5th sit if it picks BCWii and then the top three will back, or if it's Peach Gardens, then we'll definitely see people sitting on the boxes. But
Oh, and I mean that's a game changer for EXO. If it's BCWii, L can capitalize so hard on that. But we get Gardens instead, and EXO is right there in it.
Right. Well, let's see what RD does here in sixth place. He's definitely in a good spot to get like shrooms in a mid spot. We'll see if he waits. He doesn't wait. He gets a box in second.
I'd
So,
imagine with their spots, you know, everyone else took that role, but he
oh
does throw
yeah,
away his protection and get ready for it twice, looking like it could have been from Yashter in some capacity. But there was two. Regardless, we have Jed taking a star all the way to fourth, which is interesting considering he went around the cut, but you know, with all that
yeah.
happening at the beginning, he has to
As a
use it
pal
anyway.
comes, yeah.
Not the
We'll see
spot
if
you
he
want to be to hop
slacked.
dodge, but
We'll see if he schlag. Oh, I don't think he. Oh yeah, he definitely
oh,
stopped there. Well, we missed
yeah, I didn't
the
quite see
potential slagging there, but
what went down with it, but he does keep first. And we have Artie in seventh. I believe that is Taka in eighth. So the pack's split a little bit, but I mean everyone's in it.
yeah, I mean, listen, this pack is close. It's still lap 2 of Peach Gardens. Anything can happen. More likely than not, we're gonna see a shock here as well. So, you know, I really don't think either team should be too phased or anything like that. I think whichever team pulls the best items close to lap 3, and depending on who gets shocked, we're definitely gonna see who's gonna take this race. As we see already holding a Mega in fourth.
I mean, this is a great situation for EXO. Really does come down to who has shock, which someone's sitting there with it at the first set, or they could be anticipating dropping a star. So, meaning the other bagger could have it. I couldn't tell you for sure, but Jed does infiltrate into second, and no star drop to be found, and if it is, it's very wide. Artie stops at the
Already
cut.
stopping in the cut. I think Mega's one of them, and he dodges in first, or he dodges in second, but you know, he gets up into first very quickly, and he has a shroom in first. So if there's a blue shell, yeah, sorry, but that ain't happening, bro. Get that out of my house.
Not in my town.
Not in my town.
We got Jed, unlucky pull in sixth, but especially when you're around your teammates like that. But I mean, this last set could decide quite a bit. And we see him pull a bomb, which I mean, you have to wonder.
I mean, he has to be extremely niche for that to happen. We'll see him throwing it on the line.
He hits no one.
Hit anybody,
okay,
but...
honestly, thought he hit his teammate, so you know you could take that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, you can't really do much with a bomb, especially if you see your teammate up there, and you know, it's whatever.
Nah, you just gotta hope for some miracle, but it didn't come there.
Yeah.
Regardless, the race went all right. I believe we saw Artie keep first, which I mean, of course he would.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see
a
top 2-4 from EXO, and you do have to take into account that when Artie took the cut in the Mega and he came out and dodged, there was a lot of EXO members in mid spots, maybe a couple of them in like low spots as well. So they definitely chained items there. So they definitely knew what they were doing when they called that shock.
It's a good shock to call. Gets them a winning race, much needed after that GV race. So
yeah, for sure. And as we see L leading by 11 points. I mean, listen, I mean, this match is going to be close. I mean, we all knew this match would be close, you know. And as we see EXO picking TF, which should be the, you know, correct pick there, unless they want to do box steal strat on BCWii. But I think TF is definitely the pick to have, and L picking Sherbet land. I mean, the key is to pick the safest tracks for the spots that you have. You definitely don't want to take leaps and take too many risks. You definitely just want to stick to the tracks that work the most in the situations that you're in, especially because it is the finals. You know, you want to have the best chance of getting the best spots, especially at the beginning of the race. I mean, if you pull a golden here, I mean, GG's, bro. It's it's just worldwide central.
Comes down a lot to who gets that golden or two, and what we see here is Zane and Yashter going for what you would assume to be the golden. Jed gets triple shrooms, but gets them instantly megaed out of him.
Yeah, that's huge. That's
quite the shutdown. It's a fantastic play from Yashter. But we also see Tekken back here as well. I wonder what happened to him. But Artie keeps second at least. He's behind Taka in the cave.
Yeah.
And we have Jed shrimming up. And it looks like Tekken is holding something. Could just be a star. He forces Jed to go wide there, which is nice. And Aside of that, we just have a 1v1 between Artie and Taka in these top 2 spots. Artie failing to hit him at every corner, but perhaps that could change. Jed not getting the items he wants, but his teammates are also back here. Surely someone pulls something of use.
Yeah. And what I like to say is, and as Jed pulls a star here, he's definitely holding that. You know, the schlag that happened lap 1, those are the type of plays that these teams are gonna have to implement in their game, because like, this isn't a question of skill, this is a question of smarts, wits,
Oh yeah.
which team's gonna make the more intelligent plays at one certain time. And that that schlag got Jed into 8th. I mean, even though 8th is not a bad place to be in at Sherbet land, that's definitely what you want to be shooting for.
Definitely. Jed takes his star all the way to 4th, and well, Zane gets in front of him, but you have to wonder, I mean, when's the shot coming? Someone has to have it by now. But if you look at the map, perhaps they don't. Artie does, or sorry, Jed pulls blue and throws it.
Extremely good item there.
No cancel blue or anything, so perhaps no one has, which is strange for Sherbet land, but makes things more interesting, I suppose. Everyone kind of enters catch-up mode right at the end here, and we could see a lot of spots switching up. Oh, as the shock does come in, and
Jed gets comboed
for it.
Yeah.
We see Artie finishing 6th. Okay, so
yeah, I think EXO gets bottom 2 out of that. That might have been a last-minute shock to get. Might have been an L member who called that shock, but I could be wrong.
And we surprisingly haven't seen much of Zane. I believe he got 8th there, meaning he's starting the GP first 3 races of it on 6 points, and it's I mean, he's got to ramp it up soon, or else, I mean, it'll be too little, too late. L comes away with the top 2-4, completely countering the race prior, and
right. I mean,
this is right back in their favor. They're up around at least 30 now, and because it was 11 prior, but yeah, it's what's that up? 26? I can't math.
Yes, that is indeed 26.
Okay,
and
good.
As something I want to say here is that it's L was 2-3-4 in that last turn, so they did take a pretty big risk using that shock, because EXO could have potentially dodged, but I mean, their risk definitely paid off there. Gave them a top 2-4, definitely more than what they were expecting there if shock didn't happen. So hey, listen, sometimes you do have to risk it for the biscuit. Like, it is finals, and they definitely communicated that shock well, and especially since it's a last minute shock, there's not really much you can do to counter it either. So that was definitely a big brain play.
I'm sure that was pulled pretty late, because there was plenty of opportunities to use it prior with Jed, taking star to 4th, and plus a lot more than that. So I suppose it was pulled late, and they just kind of did what they could. L comes away with it, and we have TF, which is exactly what you want with these spots. I mean, that's just textbook. Makes me wonder if anyone will go for Bill, but I do see that a bit less in higher div matches. Artie gets the 8th box. It is not Bill, but I did see Zane behind him. So it's unknown what Zane does have, but Jed Golden's up into 6th. EXO possesses a good bit of the mid spots, which is good, because with top 2-4.
As we see, we see that little snipe there. We see
Bib on his head.
A little clip, flip on his head. Put the hands on the head there.
And do we see? Yeah, we see EXO at least in 2nd. So
Jed doesn't take Streamless for some reason. It's a very interesting decision there. And
I suppose because there was people around, but I still would have. I'd imagine you'd risk that in this high of a leverage match, but I suppose it's all right. But he does get random green.
The ricocheted red. Oh my goodness!
Just how he drew it up, huh?
Hey, I mean, listen, that very, very interesting decision there. I mean, he did have 2 shrooms, didn't take Shroomless, but anyways,
I mean, if he takes Shroomless, he's not in that spot. But yeah, already finds himself in 3rd with 2 nanas. Jed does get himself a star in 8th, so he's playing a different role now. Zane did indeed have Bill. They dodged Jed and said star, but Zane gets that Bill dodge.
Right.
And Jed
As we
pulls
see
blue
Jet pulling
after.
that blue shell, so he's definitely not throwing it. So his teammate is in first, and oh wait, no, the blue does get thrown because
Okay,
EXO
this took a
probably
while.
got up. Yeah, it definitely took a while because uh,
I suppose he
EXO
just
did get
wanted
up
him
at
after
first,
set, which is fair. But
right?
EXO's still dominating the front regardless of the blue.
Yeah, they are two,
Taka
three,
finds himself
four.
in first, but that's still plenty for him. So Artie just holding off everything he can. L does get a TC, which is huge. If they can't pass this, I mean, then that's at
Extremely
least
good
one
schlag
race over.
there.
He gets a
Yeah.
shroom, much needed there, and he pulls away. EXO pretty much locking up at least 2-3. And we
Ooh.
see Matt and Omega.
Well, there's a close
Oh,
call
and
there.
the
No,
shock.
Matt dodges last
And
minute.
he
I
beats
think he
Zane at
pulls
the
off
end.
third. He
Oh,
pulls off
man.
third there. L
That
does
he
get
does.
1-3. Despite EXO being 2-3-4 there, that would have been a free 2-3-4 if shock didn't happen there.
Yeah.
Because already did have those shrooms.
We did see a 2 Shock Toads factory race, which is interesting because it's a sitting track, and so I mean, whoever used the shock at any point was risking the other bagger getting it later. Um, that always applies to a TF race, so I was surprised to see it come in that early, and that's what happens. Matt squeezes something together at the end. It ends up being a pretty even race, but I believe L does win it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see TF races having two shocks, especially from the same bagger. That's
Yeah,
a very rare occurrence. So I mean, they definitely used it to their best of their ability. I mean, listen, their I feel like their communication is on point, and especially since they're pulling a lot more shocks and they're using them to the best of their abilities and very efficiently. That's why we're seeing L kind of pulling off these races. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
It's one thing to pull the shock, but it's another to use it well, and that can be the difference a lot of the time. We saw Mank, I mean, absolutely dominate before, but even if he were to if those were to be used poorly, then I mean, it wouldn't have been as much of a blowout in the semifinals. So, uh, in a case like this, as long as you're using the best shocks you can get away with not pulling that many.
Yeah, for sure.
And so
I
here
mean,
we have DDR. With EXO in the mid spots, so it's kind of anyone's game to start with. Artie gets bumped at the beginning. Jed is sitting for 8th,
yeah, already
but so
pulls
are
off
others, so he doesn't get that 8th box. Artie gets reds, which he could hit at least one person here. Matt backs his
He's
protection,
hitting Matt there. Yep,
but he
he's
was
definitely hitting
most
him.
likely getting redded regardless.
Oh
EXO
yeah,
takes over 2-3-4, and at this point you gotta get the blue on Taka, but
oh
Jed does
nice.
pull out a bomb on one
Bump
player.
snipe there. And I think like a reoccurring theme here is that, you know, shocks are extremely important. I mean, don't call me, Captain Obvious, but we're not seeing, packs being extremely far apart. We're seeing a lot of the times like these guys can hang with each other. Like they're
Absolutely.
running, they're all close. So like
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying this whole shock battle is a lot more important than people are just saying. Oh yeah, I mean of course shock's important. I mean like why would you
Yeah.
say that? But I mean listen, I mean like the pack is close all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like whoever's pulling the shock is gonna have the one up. Because as I was saying before, these teams are barely equal. They're in the finals. Like they can run. That's not a question.
And with that in mind,
You
Artie
know?
throws a bomb from Narnia, hoping it'll hit someone. That I imagine it doesn't, but I like seeing that attempt, But he does hit
Ah,
a Nan at the
Artie's
end.
still there
Zane's got to
and
get out of the way, but he gets redded anyway. And now perhaps he just goes for a dodge. As far as bagging, looks like someone has it. It's decided. And Artie does get the
yeah.
dodge right in the
EXO
star.
has the shock, Mank gets the shock, and already dodges. He
Whips
pulls
it
a
out just in
blooper
time.
and third. That's probably the worst item you can pull
Yeah,
there.
not what he wants. If he gets a
Yeah.
red or anything, I mean, he can at least hit someone, but now he's got to rely on the blooper hindering their vision, which is a bit far-fetched. So
Yeah. Yeah,
um,
definitely he's definitely banking on that
he gets
flashbang.
one red, which does it hit Zesty? It
Oh,
does.
it does hit Zesty.
And Zane
So we
comes
see
up as well,
EXO
so
getting 2-3.
I
At
think
the
they got
very least
2-3.
getting 2-3-4.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh
2-3,
no. 2-3,
2-4.
just 2-3.
Oh, that was Jed's pop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
2-3.
yeah, no, yeah, don't worry. No, I was like, nah, like 2-3, like minimum. Yeah, they definitely got 2-3 there. I mean, listen, they're happy with 2-3. They were getting top 2'd, And already pulling that blooper was a big factor because if he pulled anything else like like shrooms or something, he would have been first.
Yeah, but I
No
mean,
question about
look
it.
at this pack on the minimap after the race ends. Like it's so close all the time, and I mean, well,
Oh,
it's gone now, but it's always
already
so close in the pack.
already gets fourth
Already ends up
like
with
instead
fourth. It
of
was so
third.
tight
Yeah.
at the end, you know, it makes sense
Yeah,
with
I
all the
mean, it was
packing.
super close. There's like, it's just one of those things like I was saying before, like the pack is just so close. It's like you're literally just seeing either team on in what spot. Everything's
Yeah,
changing so much. Like someone's taking a shortcut, someone's getting redded, someone's getting blued. It's like, you know, these guys are competing with each other. And like despite me saying that, I mean L is holding a 33-point lead. And listen, like they're holding this lead. And not to say that EXO can't come back, but they're gonna have to start focusing on getting better races now, and like they can't afford to lose a race by a huge margin.
oh
So
no,
now is about
not
the
at this
time
point.
they got to start picking up the pace. Because they had shock. And I'm not saying that already got unlucky. I'm saying that despite EXO pulling the shock in DDR, you would expect them to be a little bit more
Yeah, I
involved.
think more has to happen with that. You know, you kind of put
Yeah.
you put all your eggs in one basket, hoping Artie gets an item worth getting, but no, he gets a blooper, and then that was all she wrote. Also, looking at the race times of that race, first through seventh, there was a 1.5-second difference. So really, just to prove the point, I mean, the pack is super close, and there's no room for mistakes here. Artie
Yeah.
does get a golden to start off things, and I imagine he'll golden up here. Yes.
Yeah, as he should.
So he'll look to take over. Um, we once again have an ad on Jed's Pov, so
That's
I
a
couldn't tell
very
you what
nice
he's up
chain.
to, but
Could
yeah,
definitely
he
pull out those
triple
reds there,
reds. Yeah, he can do anything with these as long as he's with the right people.
right? And as we see L holding a top two here.
He sees Matt on him and he pulls him right
Oh,
out,
he
but he
misses the
does lose
ramp.
time.
Definitely slows down a little bit. Yeah. I feel like every single race we see Artie's POV, he's always bagging for an item.
Yeah, that's his play style. I've
Yeah.
played with the guy a lot, and I mean he can get it done in the front if he finds himself up there, but generally before lap 3, you know, he doesn't really have any desire to be there, not in a war anyway. Um,
And as we see Artie goldening
well,
up here. So
one of the
he's
other team's
in
top
the
2,
third.
of course, does. He gets the item he definitely wants, and just to pray he makes it here, which it's close, but he
Oh,
does.
yeah,
I
super close double there.
guarantee you he hit the
I
TF
thought
input there. And
yeah, yeah, dude. I thought he was using the shroom there because it was looking extremely close there. Like it
oh
was,
no, he knew he had it.
and
But he
Jed
keeps
missing
first.
the ramp.
Oh, they shock him out, which
Yeah,
not the spoil, but that yeah, they shock him out, and Jed takes right back over. And once again, all of Artie's work is seeming to go to waste unless EXO can scrap something together here.
I mean, shock's
Jed,
definitely not happening again for
I thought he
sure.
was
Like,
hitting that fib, but there's a
oh,
blue.
Jed gets blued. Yeah, and as we see, the pack is super close here, so everyone's catching up now.
Artie makes
We
double.
see
Tekken's right in front of
EXO
him.
2-3. So we're
2-3. If
gonna
they could secure
see
this, then
can
I
at
mean,
least secure 2-3. It can kind of like mitigate some of the damage.
man, they're
Yeah,
getting a lot of these damage control races where they get away with something at the end,
right.
and they stay in it, which I mean that'll work, but eventually you've got to start having those kind of races that I was having on GV, which they haven't quite had
Yeah.
yet. So
I mean, I feel like EXO is getting bailed out. Like, I think that they definitely got bailed out by the blue shell because of the shock. But you're seeing the shock usage. Like if you compare the shock usage between both teams, L is utilizing their shocks a lot better than EXO is. Like you
yeah,
can tell that the shocks that L are using are a lot more meaningful in getting their players in the top spots and like their breaks and like whatever a lot more like efficiently than we're seeing EXO. Because like with EXO shocks, it's like, oh, maybe like one person dodges and we just hope that they get first, but we're not seeing any other EXO members being involved in those shock usages as we know. Or
definitely. And what I'm seeing with that is that at this point, you know, Mank is pulling them a lot of the time, and if he doesn't, you at least have a good idea of when it's coming. And so they need to approach the race with the shock in mind more. I'm really only seeing Artie do that because there's been like 3 shocks now where he's the only one that dodges, and you kind of you rely on him to get it done. But they need to approach the race with the shock in mind, which I imagine at this point a team with that skill would start doing. So we have KC, RBC, and Coconut Mall on the board here, and we end up with Coconut Mall. So what I do know is this is not one of EXO's stronger tracks. I believe L did just pick it, so I think L does have some sort of advantage on here, but again, it's not like they don't know how to play it at all, so they're right
Yeah,
there
for
in
sure.
it.
They can live with this track pick. I mean, it's definitely not the worst. I mean, it's
Especially
definitely not
with
the ideal
Artie.
track pick.
Artie gets a shroom in second right away, and I mean,
Yeah.
he just gets right into first. And you have to wonder who got Golden's.
Ooh, and Jed gets
Jed
that
does get
back
back
bomb
on.
there. I mean, listen, like if you get bombed in CM and stuff like that, I mean, it's a very uphill battle.
Yeah.
Because it's not as of like a of a luck track as you think it is. So it's definitely gonna take a lot for getting bombed or getting breaded or something to come back here. And as we see EXO holding a top 2,
Yeah.
top 2-4, I believe.
CM can be decided a lot by the first set, but normally I say that because of Goldens, but I saw maybe at most one person Golden up, and that was just because there was so much chaos at the beginning. But speaking of, Jed does now Golden up behind Zesty, so he's right back there in it. But EXO does dominate most of the front as they are top 3 as we speak, and you're essentially relying on Zane to make some kind of play to get Jed out of here, but
Jed
takes care of himself by pulling a
Yeah,
TC.
no, that is bad. That is extremely bad. If he doesn't pass this TC and he hits the fib, so EXO is going to be top 3 gone.
Nothing went his way there. As he finds himself in 5th. Artie's still in 1st, dominating, and EXO's pulling away with it. You need a shock from L in order to make any use out of this race.
Blue.
Oh yeah, you need resources, and they don't have much time to get them. Jed does get the star in 7th though, which that is one part of it, and he goes around cut, so maybe they do have it. We see a bagger spinning out over there, so I mean this could mean anything. Already way in 1st.
I mean, what EXO wants to do here is make sure it is shockless. You do not want a shock here.
Absolutely.
And as we're seeing,
EXO finishes in 1st.
At least finishing top 2, minimum top 2.
Yeah. At the minimum.
I think we're seeing an EXO top 3.
That is a top 3.
Yeah.
At least top 2-4, and I mean, they needed that. They absolutely needed that with this deficit. It's not a huge deficit, but with this many races left, it absolutely is. And so it's good to see them right back in it.
It's a 29-point deficit, so at the very minimum, they're going to bring it down to about 11, I'd say, or like 12. And that's, they have 4 races left, so that's definitely what they want.
Yeah. What is that? Yeah, top 3, and then I believe an 8th, but I mean the 8th, who cares really? I mean, it's not like you need a top 4 right now. So the huge race for EXO, they're right there in it. They're down 12, and we've got a whole new ball game here.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like, we can't count these teams out. I mean, like, as fast as a team can get a lead, they can also lose the lead. And, even though EXO might not be too happy with playing CM, it's like, you can't really, like, you just have to roll with the punches. You just got to do what you can. And they definitely utilized CM to the best of their abilities. They definitely, kept those top spots. I mean, the pack was close. So definitely, getting the shortcut and stuff like that played a factor. And also Jed pulling that TC, just big things like that gave them and they definitely kept at it.
Yeah, that's
they kept their break. Nothing happened. They didn't do any fails. They didn't take any risks. As as we know, they're D2. They won't mess up. But
it does. As we saw with Gardens earlier, I mean that top 3 gets countered right away when you see Delfino on the board, and they just have to do what they can here. As Jed, I believe, he does get the draft, and he finds himself in 1st, which that's okay because he is one of the few people up here. Obviously, you don't want to dominate the front on this track right away. So we see him in 1st, Artie in 2nd.
We'll see if he backs the dock. I think Artie didn't take the dock because he probably knew Jed was back there.
Yeah. Even if he doesn't, there's too much of a chance he does, so you go around.
Yeah,
That's okay on this track, lap 1. I mean, Artie finds himself in 8th, which is perfectly fine, given this pack. Gets triple shrooms, not what he wants probably, but it'll do. Jed also gets triple shrooms, which, I mean, that just shows you.
Like, if he can hold that in second, you know, L is top 2. You know, we're going to see Jed probably taking the double here. I mean, but then Pal comes, so
huge.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, your double dreams and DSDS are just out the window.
Denied right away. Seemingly, Jed cannot catch a break lately, but he does stay in second, so no harm, no foul, really. But a lot of greens coming up. They get Taka. We didn't see it on. We saw Artie doing something else, but triple greens were thrown at Taka and Jed, and Taka dropped a green on Jed as he was hit by them, so that really split that up. Jed finds himself back in the back. Yash is hit as well. Oh, Jed manages to stay on, despite those bumps from Yashter. And now we have him with the Mega, and you have to wonder, someone's got the shock, but looking at that mini-map, and so...
Yeah. I mean, if...
Judging by him holding his Mega here, I think this is L's shock. But could be wrong. Oh, he goes for the stop Mega on Yashter.
Goes for the schlag, but misses it. Yeah, so
perhaps
that's a very interesting decision there. Yeah, he changed the red there, so yeah, I mean, he's definitely getting passed.
Artie goes around, and... You
know, no shock has happened yet.
Jed's... Yeah, it's... I said someone had shock because it really looked like it on the map. Oh, well, there you go. And now it comes in. Right at the end, Artie dodges in a star. Jed is shocked out of his Mega, just barely.
Wow, yeah, Jed gets shocked out of his Mega, and...
It looks like he loses a spot to Artie, so...
Yeah.
I guess just one of those, you know, get me over shocks at the end, but it had to have been pulled late because I thought for sure there was a play with it earlier, but...
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's a big thing. It's not really like a huge shock. You know, it definitely doesn't impact the results of the race too much.
Yeah, I don't think it mixed up the top 4 spots at all. So it really just got Artie at the end, and it keeps EXO right in that race. I'm not sure if they won it, but it was within like 3 either way. So
yeah,
a fine race, but again, EXO is running out of time here. But with one big race on either side, you know, it can sway it completely.
Right. I mean, that's definitely something that they can live with. You know, you're gonna have to play those races that, you know, you're not gonna be winning by much or losing by much. They did lose that race by 7, so that's not a huge, you know, margin of a race, but you know, L is winning by 9.
9 is not much to fear with this much left, so I see no problem. It's basically even. We see RBC and Koopa Cape, which EXO goes the Koopa Cape in 2-3-5, which is interesting. It does pick them, so I mean, I think with 1-4 versus 2-3-5, either team has a chance here. EXO is just confident in it. When I've played an EXO, that is a track we go with a lot, so makes sense that they'd go for that. As the race does kick off here, Jed in 6th, and we'll see his approach for the beginning of the race.
Yeah, definitely.
Artie does get a Mega for spots.
Actually, no, he does get the box in the 5th. He does get triple shrooms. Definitely what you want there. Yep.
Absolutely.
Definitely what you want.
Didn't even stop. But Artie's right on him.
Artie stopped and he avoided the Mega. Yeah, that's a huge.
I thought it was over. I see Artie in that Mega. I thought for sure it was over, but he stays in it. He's got a shroom. The problem with having a shroom in this spot is once you get in that pipe, you have no chance of breaking a red, so you have to hope your team stays behind you, which they don't. We see Yashter in 2nd. And if he has a red, it's over for Jed, but I think he would have thrown it by now. So Jed will hold on to 1st, at least for now.
Definitely asking
Maxi drops a star, and there's a star from Mank as well, which I believe Yashter picked up, or he might have left it for someone. So Jed gets to take cut, keep a shroom. He's got a decent lead in 1st, but not that huge. So
I think that if a red show comes, he does get it by the
That's often a spot you see them broken, so it's interesting he couldn't, but he does keep 1st though. He's just he's right on Yashter. We also see on the other pub Artie, who is just shrooming in the back, just hoping for something, which the game is not giving it to him, which makes me think, oh, until that, I was thinking
Yeah,
L
two
was
L
holding
members getting
dodges,
bombed
but
there, so they're bottom 2 now.
that is
That's a huge
huge.
bomb. Huge
That is
bomb.
so vital, because I was about to say I think L has the dodges already, but they might have just lost them right then and right there. So we see Jed fall into third, make that second, and he's got a good chance at hitting Yashtra here. Which he goes for it,
Oh,
Yashtra
does he
does as
get
well,
the...
and
Nah,
no
he
one wins
doesn't.
that interaction. So
Right.
Artie has a great item in 6th though, that being a golden, and he can come up and make it his race as well. So
He's got to be careful here. Try not to hit the star. Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot to keep in mind here, but he does get through. Oh, sort of, with a wheelie bump in there, but he makes it out. Doesn't really catch up. I guess everyone had shrooms, but he gets a star after. And Jed does find himself in second with a shroom, still behind Yashtra. It's been basically a 1v1 up here, which is, I mean, you always love watching that.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it doesn't seem he has much of a chance at first, especially with Pal coming in, but he does seem to keep a shroom, yeah, with that Pal. He gets Yashtra pretty good. Oh, and he does pass him at the end.
oh,
Likely
yeah.
because of the Pal. I'd imagine Yashtra might have been Pal'd into something around the cut, or he just lost a lot of time from it. Not a target Pal spot you think of a lot, but I mean, that really clearly got him. Jed squeezes out first.
Right. I mean, the way I see it, is a very, like, I wouldn't say a boring race, but it was definitely just like running, taking
Yeah.
cut. You didn't see shock happening this race. And as I said, when you don't see shock happening, the pack is always close.
Yep.
As we see EXO
They've
getting
had a lot of
2
these
3.
2-3 races, but this time they end up with 7-8. They definitely lose that one.
Yeah.
And I mean, they really only have so much time, as I've been saying, which they need a really good race here in order to stay in it. But either way, as we
Yeah.
predicted, this has been super close. I mean, L had like 30-point lead, but that's only going to last so long. So it's great to see how close this is towards the end. Just one big race from either team can completely decide the match. If L were to like top 2-4 here, then I mean, you can call it a night on that. So we'll see a
Well,
Moo Moo Meadows from EXO. I'll be the first guy to tell you they love picking that track. It is not a joke. It just works every time. I can't think of a time EXO lost that track. Knock on wood. But I'm not surprised to see that come out. RBC, of course, a much more boring, but, wise pick from L's side. So
well, let me put it to you this way. If L wins this race by a decent margin, then I think they take the war.
yeah,
Now if EXO wins, they have a chance of winning, but it's not
yeah.
a guarantee because they're down.
EXO would need
So
a bigger race here than L would,
right.
but then
So
again,
yeah,
I mean, it could just be a neutral one, and then EXO pulls something off at the end. You never know, and we
yeah.
do get
You never
RBC.
know.
The Moo Moo dream is dead, at least for now. But Artie does not get that draft at the beginning, which it really looked like he would, so it's a shame. But Jed is in first, at least.
I mean, listen, I would rather watch an RBC race than a Moo Moo Meadows race. So thank God the Mario Kart gods gave us this race because listen, bro,
Really?
I don't want to watch Moo Moo Meadows
I
in a
gotta
D2
disagree with
finals
you on
match.
that. Gotta
Come on, I
disagree.
mean, like in a deciding race like this, I mean, come on.
I'm telling you, EXO does not lose that track.
Oh, and we see that
But
snipe from Jed. Oh
what a
my
snipe on
goodness.
Jed.
Oh, that's a niche right there, baby. That's listen, I mean, like, if there's any time to
Oh,
munch on your popcorn, it's right now, and then
that's
gets
one
available.
time to bill for sure, but he gets him. But
Oh,
Jed
and then
falls
Jed
off on the
falls
bridge.
off. Yeah,
What
I
is
don't
going
know
on
what that was
here
for.
on lap
I don't.
one?
I'm very confused at that one. I mean, I guess he was trying to avoid something.
Yeah, I don't know. The chaotic lap one really mixed it up. Looks nothing like it did at the beginning now, but we see EXO holding down 3-4. I want to say 5.
3-4-5, 3-4-5, and L is holding top two. I mean, this isn't good, man. I mean, L is holding these top spots. They have a decent break here. And I mean, all that EXO is hoping on is that either they pull Shock or the blue, or maybe both, best case scenario. But I mean, in a race that you need super badly,
Yeah.
this is not looking very good for EXO.
No, it's not, because they need to dominate this one, and if not, they just have to hope for some cheese like race 12. So they really need to get this done quickly. Jed's in a star in 8th, has another one. And the fact that he used the star, because he's still pretty close, tells me that they don't have shock, but I mean, you never know. I've been wrong about that before. So, I mean, this lap, not much changes. We still see EXO in 3-4, just hoping for something to happen at top 2, which the more time that passes, the least likely that is. So, already hoping for a draft here. Gets it, changes shroom, gets a
Oh, he
TC.
changed
Yeah,
the TC.
I mean, that's the last thing you need right now. And
I mean, I don't know. I mean, he was definitely chaining for blue, and he
Mank
didn't get it.
does not take it, which it looked like he was trying to get him to. So definitely some frustration there. But EXO still
Very
keeps
frustrating.
3-4, and I suppose this could be worse for Artie. He lets Zane pass, and they do back. I believe it was Taka. So it could have been a lot worse. But the
That's a
problem
nice
is top
top dodge
2.
there on the PAL. We'll see if
Yeah,
EXO uses a shock here. Zane and Omega.
yeah,
They're
sure
gonna
builds
build.
up, and it looks like they'll just hold down the mid spots as they do continue back in that bottom 2. But hey,
Yeah.
and we also saw Jed get TC'd. So oh, they predict the TS, but it
Oh yeah,
just
but
goes a
he
little too
goes he
far.
goes a little bit too much on the ramp there.
A very
But
unwanted low
I
trick.
don't think it's gonna impact the spots too much unless he gets hit by a star here with
Oh,
Taka.
we see
Actually, yes, it
another
will. Yes,
bill.
it will.
Oh
Yes,
my
it will.
goodness.
And L captures 6-7 out of that shock,
I want to
so it
say there
definitely.
was 3 bills that race, which it is the longest track, but my goodness, that is insane. And it gets already 8th, very unwanted low trick. He predicts the TS is coming, but too little, too late, and it looks like L has quite a good chance of
That
coming away with
top
this one.
2, 6-7, yeah, that's basically what I was about to say
Top
with
2
that,
is always winning. They get 6-7, so I believe it's a
you know.
+5 or +7. So EXO needs something big here.
Yeah, I think that this is leaning towards L winning this match. It's definitely possible, but the fact that you need such a huge race in order to maybe even tie potentially, or maybe even win by like a point, it doesn't really look promising. I don't really see that happening unless we see Moo Meadows again. Kona, maybe you can have your like glory day of Moo Meadows, hopefully,
I'm
and
just
maybe
saying,
we'll see a shock here. We'll see, but I mean, I'm thinking that L is definitely in a good position here. That if they don't, flunk this race, they're gonna take match number 1.
philosophy in EXO is if you're 4th and you need something big, you go Moo, because they'll get that draft. They can run it. It is runnable, believe it or not. I don't think they're out of it, especially if it's Moo. BC3, we've seen Yasher, do the Ultra. He lives for that shortcut. Uh, Tekken knows how to do it as well. Zane does too. Artie does too. That's either one of these. It's anyone's game,
Yeah,
and
I
it
mean,
is Moo Meadows.
we might see L kind of being tactical with this. Now, if this was like my train of thought, it's listen, let's don't get top 4, don't get top 3.
Yep.
So what they might do is if they schlag, they're gonna like out of their way to schlag a player because they know that that's going to be super important because EXO is going to need all their players in order to pull this off. So if L can take, one of those players out of the race completely, it's going to further decrease their chances of even smelling a comeback here.
Well, but what I will say is that player will not be Artie. He pulls away into first, and he's just got to hold this down. But EXO does need at least, I believe, a top 3-6.
See
So
Yash getting TC'd, so yeah,
yeah,
that's a very very big.
something big needs to happen, and it needs to be quick. Artie gets Reddit as well. L takes over
Oh, he
top
gets
3,
comboed.
top
Top
4 at
4.
that. It's brutal. You need shock here, and
Yeah.
without it, you have no chance, especially on a track this short. So
Mm.
Jet
Yeah.
slows
Oh, he gets
down,
Reddit again.
really tells him how it is. Man, do all 3 get Reddit? Yes, they do.
But
And
I mean, what I say, man, like the schlagging plays a
yeah,
huge thing, and like as you see him with triple reds,
and
he's gonna do
another
it again.
TC in play, and it's just, yeah, because he knows even if he gets 8th here, it doesn't matter. He just needs to stop EXO from taking over any of the top spots. And
Exactly.
that they won't unless a shot comes in here and changes the whole game. But you can see on the map that top 2 is gone.
Yeah, gone, man. I think that L is taking this match. It's over. I mean,
I
Tekken has
believe.
a
Yeah,
TC. Jed is just avoiding it. He's screwed here. I mean, yeah.
we see 3
L is
TCs come
taking
up
this
from
match.
EXO in a 1.5-minute track. Unlucky, but again, L played the cards completely right here. Even with that shock here, we won't see much of a change of anything.
Yeah, as
L is
EXO,
your
they're
match
conquering.
1 grand finals winners. and all they need is one more match in the next two, and the banner is theirs.
That is huge, man. That's, I mean, as I said, the winner of match one is going to take that commanding lead. You're going to put pressure on that other team in order to pull something off match number two. But listen, L was using their shocks a lot better. It's not like EXO wasn't in top spots because they were, but I think L utilized their items and their shocks and their strategy a lot better than EXO, and they got a lot more out of what they were trying to do.
Indeed.
At
I
least,
mean, time after time, L just they were able to string things together better than EXO did. They had huge races at the beginning, specifically Grumble Volcano comes to mind. And after that, it looked like EXO was coming back from it, but they never quite got that lead again. And in fact, I believe they didn't lead after, well, after like what, race four. I think they had lost their lead up to that point. So yeah, that's all she wrote really. EXO needs something big in these next two matches, and it just comes down to whether they're capable of that, which we have seen they are, but it's anyone's game.
yeah, I'm thinking after race one when they won that race by one at MG. I
Yeah,
think
was it?
when I think when Maxi pulled off the like pulled the plug out, that hey, listen, that it worked. I
Yeah,
think it worked.
whatever the
I
plan
don't know.
was, I'm sure
Maybe
he
it
did not
worked.
mean to, but if he did, it worked.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, I mean,
It's not out of
like
the
as I said
question.
before, it's definitely not. Like people can call it placebo all they want, but me, I like to be a little bit more fun with my train of thought. So I'm thinking that like that washing machine definitely played a part in them winning this match. You know,
I
because
believe Elle was saying they needed about 10 to 20 minutes before this next match, but EXO's telling them to go now. Um, so we'll have our next match soon enough, and we will be replacing me for the cast. I believe Henry's coming in, so get ready for that. I suppose that's all from me. Pleasure casting with you, Fresco.
yes, sir, bro. You too, bro. I mean, listen, like this is a fun match to cast, bro. Like we're all happy you got to cast, so hopefully it was fun, and
Oh yeah,
you know,
won't be the last time. Don't worry, people. See you all
yeah,
later.
yeah, try not to cry too hard. Don't worry, don't worry. He'll be back.
Have a nice night, everyone. Enjoy.
Don't worry, bro. I'm I'm gonna be the hype man. Listen, bro. We're gonna be the hype man in this, bro.
Do you
I
want me
don't
to do the?
care. Yeah,
You want me to do the
go ahead
start?
and do
Okay,
it,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
What's good, y'all? It's me and Fresco in the booth now. We've got match 2 of the D2 finals coming up right here. So have the lineups changed since the last match, or what?
Nah, I think they're the same lineups. Same lineups are going against each other. If you watched match number 1, you saw the lineup, so there's no differences here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
So if there's no differences, then if they're gonna be playing with the same, if they're gonna be running it back, then who do you think is gonna take this match too? Let's just start it right off the bat.
I mean, listen, man. Like the way I see it, I predicted L last match and it happened. And like I think what happened last match was I was talking with Kona. Of course, if you watched the stream, I'm sure you did. L was using their shocks more efficiently. They were slagging more. You know, but I mean, both teams were changeably in top spots, but L was using their items better. So I think I'm gonna have to go with L probably taking the title here, but it's not putting EXO out of the equation because if they change their approach to this match, then we could see EXO pulling off this win here, especially because they've been down 0-1 before and they've came out of the gutter. So, they have just a good a chance of winning this match, especially because they're going to be making more adjustments. So, it might throw L off at the beginning of the match.
And I mean, yeah, oh my goodness, this EXO team, like, just in general, these guys are some of the best, clutch time performers, down 0-1 kind of guys that you can have on the racetrack. And you have that veteran leadership in their lineup with Yoshter, Tekken, Zane. Even Artie has been playing for a little while now. And, a lot of these people, they've experienced being down 0-1 before. They know not to let the pressure get to their heads. So we may see L fall flat on their faces and see EXO take this one home and go to a match 3. However, with that being said, I personally just think that the L lineup has more of that, like, oomph, I guess. You've got Matt, you've got Jed, Taka, Zesty, Maxi. Those are all names that you would, probably see even in a Division 1 team. I mean, that's why this is D2 Finals, but Taka has experience with L1. Matt's been playing forever. He's a dinosaur. He's been playing in so many different D1, D2 teams. And I mean, Maxi's also a vet too. He's got a lot of bagging experience just under his belt. Whereas Mank, he's only really been bagging since 2020 or 2021. So I definitely think that on paper, L is the better lineup. And unless there are some major changes to the way EXO plays Mario Kart in this match, I do think that it's going to be L taking this one 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like, just going off of the last match, you could tell that L was a lot more communicative with each other and they were a lot more organized in the plays that they were making than EXO. And a lot of the
Yes, yes.
times, it's not like shot count was like super like uneven. Like I feel like, like the shot count was, very serviceable for both teams, but like EXO wasn't really utilizing their shocks as well. And as I said, these two teams are extremely good. They're not, it's not like one team favors another. It's just the fact that their decision making was a lot more different. And if that changes with EXO, I feel like they're gonna have a lot better chance to win this match. But if we're gonna see the same theme reoccurring here, I think that L is gonna come on top and finish this off.
Yeah, and another big thing that I want to mention before we get into this first track here is that the key to having a good team is kind of like having, someone who's a big scorer, someone who will get those like 110-point wars when they need to, someone who's always going to be in the front driving it up and stuff like that, and having, a good IGL, having a good pack players, people who can schlag, people who can take advantage of other people's lag. They have all of that, and yet they are still very, very good scorers. I mean, the lowest average on their team is 30 points from Taka, and I mean, in any division, that's gonna put you in like the top 10, top 10 best, point scorers in, the MVP race. So, I definitely think that just on average, L kind of just scores more points. So, whichever team scores the most points wins. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, put the Captain Obvious hat on. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're looking for. But as we see EXO, I don't know, one of their players would just kind of failed Shroomer there. But listen, the pack is going to be close. You're going to see these packs being close. Like, you're not going to see huge breakaways unless, maybe someone drops a star here, like whatever it is. But, especially match 1, you didn't really see these huge breakaways from players, So it comes down to the decision making and the item usage because, listen, as I said, these teams aren't far apart from each other. So we're going to see how these teams fare as we see already getting a star here. So we're going to see him kind of like far into first. Green comes back. EXO is 2-4. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that with these current spots that they have right now, the main goal is probably just I mean, for L right now, to avoid this TC, because this TC is going to be the end of whichever player, gets it. It's very difficult to come back from TCs on this track. I think that EXO's goal right now is probably to just get like a blue shell or something like that so that they can hold it for the guy in first, because if they have that and if they're able to keep that lead that RT has right now, which I mean is just, absolutely phenomenal, and he's getting a star drop? No, he's not getting a star drop. That's my fault. If they're able to keep that first place, then, things are going to be looking really up for them.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you do hold the blue, I mean, it's definitely a good item to hold, but it does sacrifice yourself a little bit. So you're going to have to live with a player. Like, if they hold the blue, they're out of the race. So, I mean, we don't know if anyone's holding blue or not. But, as we see EXO being 1-3, or I think, yeah. You see a little pow there, and the shock.
And the shock is going to affect...
Dodge Yoster.
EXO the most, yeah, it dodges Yoster, and they are top four for EXO, coming in hot this first race. Yeah. But this TC, man, if Jet's not able to pass this, then it's over. It's just so over for Lightspeed right here. And he is able to pass it, but he's losing so much time, and he has no item in 6th place. I think that's just the dagger for this race. Unless we see some sort of emergency shock come in, or an emergency blue. I think that this is going to be an EXOW here.
Yeah. We see L getting 6-7. I think, 6-7, and she sees Zane getting 8th. It's going to be an extremely close race, though. I feel like maybe, EXO might edge it out by, 2 or, maybe, 3 or something, but it's definitely not a huge race for either team, considering, the pack.
I think that they might have gotten... Well, I mean, the last turn of KC is always very laggy, but they actually do end up getting top 2. My prediction was going to be 135. I'm surprised that they got top 2.
Yeah, I know.
But that's a really good start to EXO there. And I think if you're L in the call right now, it's just sort of a matter of they played better and they got the better items. I definitely think that, what EXO was doing with their TCs that they got, being able to pass them to the other team, and if they did get TC'd, they'd just be able to catch up immediately. They were able to handle the situation, the cards that they were dealt with, really well. And it's also important to mention that shock was a huge game changer in that race. Obviously dodging up Yoster into first place and him just keeping it that whole time really made it so that Lightspeed had no chance to come back after the second ramp of lap 3.
Yeah, and I'm thinking the points are switched up here, but I mean, you knew that EXO was coming with the heat. Like, you knew that they were coming in. Like, you knew, they're down 0-1. If you're L, you're not going to expect anything less than EXO putting everything they have out there. So if I was L, I wouldn't be fazed by this. But at the same time, you do have to consider, EXO is no pushover, and especially since this is MG. This could turn into something very, very interesting here, if the stars align for EXO.
Well, as someone who played part of my career in Lightspeed, I will say that this is sort of their home turf right here on Mushroom Gorge. I think that they play this track very well. I think that they are one of the best Mushroom Gorgers in the entire game right now. But another thing, and this is sort of harping on what you were saying earlier, EXO, man, they've got that veteran leadership. I mean, these guys have been coming down from 0-1 deficits in league matches since WFC. So, I mean, they know what they're doing, and they know how to, not succumb to the pressure that L might put on them with a good race this match or something like that.
Oh, as we see,
my
Yoshter
Lord.
getting Jed on the cut, dude. That, as I'm, dude,
Yoshter
we're
with
talking
no
about this,
regard
yeah,
for
he just
human
said,
life.
yo, denied, bro. Dikembe Mutombo, get that out of here, baby. Nah, he's out, nah.
Get out of here,
Yeah,
dude.
get out, yeah, come on, man.
This blue is really good for EXO as well. I mean,
Thought it was free.
now they're just able to hold this the whole time. You got Tekken in first place. Oh, this Pow? Okay, no.
Gosh, the
You got
Pow.
Tekken in first place. I assume that, yeah. Oh wait, Taka didn't have a shroom after the Pow. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, but hey, like as I was gonna say, hey, L shouldn't think that this is sweet. EXO is coming, and already holding this blue is really huge as well. So L is gonna depend on Shock being pulled, but listen, this is the way that EXO had to play match 1. This is the way that they had to play.
Right there. That snipe right there could change things a little bit. You got Zesty right up on him. They're 2-3-4 right now. I don't know who's coming up in this build, but
You can see EXO calling a Shock while throwing blue. Maybe no.
No, I don't think they had Shock that whole time. I think this is gonna be an L for EXO right here. Yeah, we see Jed taking the cut, getting 5th, and that is bottom 3 for EXO. But I mean, that first place is gonna save them a lot right there. Assuming they still got first.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really think that one of them got first there. I mean, I think they did because Artie did hold the blue shell. Otherwise, he would have thrown it. But like even then, that's an extremely good race for L, and it might potentially tie this war, or might have a tie the war.
Immediately, L is gonna punch back. I think that we're gonna see a lot of back and forth races here. It's not going to be likely that one of these teams is just going to snowball and score a bunch of runs in the inning, because these teams, they are, sort of rivals with each other. They definitely faced off in the playoffs a lot, and these guys have played each other many a number of times, just in scrims and in regular clan wars. But these teams, they're not going to back down from each other. They're going to keep punching and they're going to keep fighting until it's lapped through to race 12,
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is the match that we want. I mean, I don't want a match that one team is gonna like blow out the other team, and then like I have to act like I'm somehow entertained by this. I want this to happen. We all want this to happen. Like
What are you
we
even
want
talking about?
we want the back of that. What exactly? What are we even gonna talk about? What? Oh, this team blowing out this team, and then like act like we're just like amused by the commentary. No, bro, we want 61-61, race number 2. Guys got to get hyped. All right. This is the match. D2 finals. All right. This could be the difference between L getting the title and EXO clawing their way to potentially make one of the biggest comebacks we've ever seen.
Stake here, dude? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I can't really wrap my mind around it. I mean, it's very early in the war, so I mean, we're gonna see what happens here. Bro.
That draft on the Zesty is gonna be a huge game changer in these first 2 laps because he's getting a single shroom in 5th, whereas he could have opted the bag and maybe gotten a golden or something like that. And this single shroom is not going to do him that many favors. So I mean, while he's up here in the moment, I definitely do think that bagging
that's a
in
big
the long run.
right
and never mind, I'm immediately proven wrong. He pulls a mega in 6th, which is going to definitely take EXO to the promised land.
They are 2, 3, 4, 5 though, I'm thinking. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good play, but I mean, listen, bro, the pack's still close. I mean, still lap 1.
Ouch! A lot of action right there, and Jed appears to be holding the blue.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, actually, I think he might be trying to throw the blue at a later time, maybe after rail.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. He's throwing the blue after the rail. I think that it's probably just because it's much more easy to combo the guy who gets blued if you're in like 5th or 6th place if they get blued immediately after the rail, because that's just such a bad spot.
Already tanking that red for his teammate there. I don't know if anyone caught that.
What a team player right there. So inspirational.
Man, just look at Artie, dude. Look at Artie.
So inspirational.
Player.
I mean, this top 2 for L right now, this is probably the biggest running track in the whole game. So that back fib and that red shell, that could very easily be the dagger here. Like, we might just see Jed and Zesty run it up in top 2 for the rest of the time, assuming that neither bagger right now is Shock.
Yeah, we'll see if Jed gets hit by the mega here. Yeah, and he does. Drops the fib. Yeah, and you see
Wow.
already holding a POW, so he's definitely going to look to target POW L in this last turn here.
And it looks
Actually,
like
no, never
Maxi's
mind.
also chaining in 9th place, so L's chances of shock this race are getting pretty slim. They're 2-3-4 with a POW in 4th. They definitely could, you know, mess up Zesty over here and maybe get like a top 2-4 or a top 3 out of this next race.
I mean, I'm thinking that he's gonna target POW Zesty on the Superman. I think he uses it. Oh, actually, no, never mind. He just uses the POW right there and hits the nano wide. He probably just wanted to like get rid of the POW, and oh, as we see L shock there, as we see Jed dodging the shock in a Mega, gets up into 3rd, and we're gonna see him getting up into 2nd. Yeah, that's an extremely huge shock. Just gives him top 2 right there.
Yeah, that shock right there is gonna be very, very big. Because now we see L in top 2. We got Tekken right up on them, but you know, I don't think Tekken's gonna do a lot of work in order to make it so that, you know. Yep, he's getting back nanted, he's getting back fibbed. It's all over for EXO right here. They may be in the mid spots, but it will be L taking this one home with the top 2.
Yeah, we'll see if any last minute thing happens. I don't really think so. I think that L is taking this top 2. I mean, yeah, I mean that shock, you know, it was a very unpredictable shock, you know, because like if you used it towards the end, they would know, you know what I mean? Like they're D2 teams, like they know those obvious shock spots. So if you're L or you're EXO, you have to use shocks in the most unpredictable spots. You know what I'm saying? You can't just use them in spots that you know like they might potentially use it. You have to be very, very sneaky about it, you know, to get the most out of, you know, the shock that you're using. So that's definitely a really, really good shock there because no one dodged. And, you know, they also got the top 2 out of it. But they're getting top 2, bottom 2, so they only won that race by 3. But that's still a good shot.
For sure, yeah. I mean, you know, this 3-point deficit is nothing to EXO right here. They're easily going to be able to claw back from this one. I think it's just mostly dependent on what track gets picked, because top 2, bottom 2, and you know, by distinction, 3, 4, 5, 6 are some of the most important spots for what track you're going to pick in the game. You know, top 4, everyone's going to go BCWE. Bottom 4, everyone's going to go like Moo Moo Meadows or I don't know, whatever track your team likes to pick, but in the mid spots, you know, it's sort of a variety of what you want to pick, and so you're taking a risk on BC3 or RSL or some other track like that. Especially this early in the war, you know, that could be a deciding factor for who takes the lead and starts snowballing this match.
I mean, I feel like, you know, your mid spots, you want to go like GV, BC3, perhaps. But I mean, it's definitely a difficult situation to be in. But, you know, you're only losing by 3. I mean, it's not really, not really big of a deal. You're technically tied here. And as we see MC3 and Wario's Goldmine being picked, that's a very interesting track pick to have here. And Wario's Goldmine being picked, that's definitely the track, one of the better tracks to for top 2, bottom 2. So your bottom spots can get the boxes here and spam their items. So yeah, I mean we'll see what happens here. I mean this could be really, really big for L.
Yeah, L getting this track pick right here is just absolutely huge because obviously I was mentioning earlier, you've got the really good scorers, you got the people who can drive very fast in the top spots, and also that first set on the zipper where, you know, the bagger can drive forwards and you can get Bill in like 8th or 9th place. That is just the deciding factor, like 80% of the time on this track. If you have the Bill, then obviously your bagger's going to know you have the Bill, and then the bagger's probably going to get shock, and then you're going to dodge in the Bill. And that's just a winning race for you guys. So that's sort of just like a cheat code. So, you know, them getting this track pick is going to be very, very big for him right here. Although we do see EXO 1-3.
EXO being 1-3-4 pretty much, and already has triple reds in 3rd. So if First can back, if Zane here can back Jed, then I mean, you know, Artie's kind of in the money here. He's already close to Jed. I mean, he's basically within striking distance. So if he can get Jed out of 2nd, oh wait, no, but he does have triple greens though, so he's gonna be able to shield those reds.
Yeah, Jed is gonna do a good job of shielding away these red shells. However, it is going to be Tekken who's shrooming up here, probably gonna play more aggressive around Jed now because, you know, obviously you've got 2 people who are able to swarm him with items. So Jed's just gonna have to play a 2v1, maybe even a 3v1 with this blue right here. And that's not going to be good for L team, you know, just having only one guy in the front.
That's a TC in 1st. He's TC in 1st. Yeah.
This is a
Maxi. Oh!
There we go. The pass to TC. That is a huge play there.
That is so money for Jed. So money.
Very
just
good.
so money. And, you know, Maxi was in 9th place, so it's not like he was really losing out on anything important. So I mean, that is just so good for L team right there, being able to keep this first place and not get TC'd.
Right, and as we see Jed going into the ramp to try to avoid a potential TS, but then but already does hit the fid. So there's a ground raid on the.
He's going wrong for these
Oh my
teams
God.
right here. It's like a failing split.
Is he already? Is he gonna throw the bomb? Miraculous bomb?
Bomb?
No. Wait. Oh no, but Zane.
It was Zane. I think he might have gotten his own teammate if anything.
Maybe, yeah, but I mean, dude, that was just what, like the blue drop, like the fib, and then
oh my God, dude, that was so much stuff happening at once. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, listen, I mean, that TC pass was probably what saved Jed's race there. I mean, and also you have to take into consideration that Maxi might have had Bill, so getting that Bill out, maybe, if he had it, it definitely, had a part to play here. And wow, EXO top 2-5.
All right, well, that EXO top 2-5 is going to change things a lot. We saw Jed up in first place that whole race, and that absolutely just magic TC pass onto Maxi. I thought that was going to be it. I didn't think that the blue would come anytime soon, but unfortunately, that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes when you play in Mario Kart.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really depend on, if you're in first, that you're just not going to get blued. I mean, it's going to happen, Definitely has a good chance of happening. And, despite Jed making that play, EXO got top 2-5. So now they're leading by 8. They won that race by 11. So EXO has the opportunity to take this momentum and shift it in their favor. And this is definitely where they need to be right now. They need to be in a position where, their track picks, I mean, top 2-5, they're picking BCWii. That's very interesting of a track pick because only 2 of their top spots are getting blocked.
I was gonna say, yeah, BCWii is kind of a ballsy pick from EXO. Excuse my language, obviously, but we are gonna go to Peach Garden, so I was gonna go into a whole spiel about how maybe it wouldn't be the best idea to pick it in top 2-5, but it doesn't even really matter. We're gonna see an entirely different race here.
Oh yeah, I mean, Peach Gardens definitely isn't what EXO wanted, but hey, listen, like you have 2 players in like 5, 8, 5, 7, whatever, that they can get a box. So this is all dependent, especially if the back is close, on what items you get first and trying to get that early lead. I mean, it definitely doesn't matter too much, but yeah.
I will say this right now. L letting RT get that first 8th place box instead of, forcing him to go into like 6th or 7th place, that might have been the dagger for them. But I mean, he still only ended up getting triple shrooms. But I mean, if he was able to get like a star or something like that, or even a golden, then that would have been a huge misplay that would have costed L a lot.
Oh, see that green side there is. I was getting him. Oh no, it's not. But like, it's kind of interesting that Taka went wide there, like on that tight turn. But as we see, the already hot dodge on the battle.
Yeah,
that's definitely going in the montage.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's the beat drop clip right there.
Yeah.
That's we did see it, however, in top 3. Top 3 on this track, honestly, big whoop. Like, they could get the shock, they could get a blue, they could get so many different things to mess up their race right here. And this triple shrooms in 4th isn't going to be doing L any favors.
Yeah, I mean, pack is still close. And obviously, and the shock happens, and EXO gets shocked before the set.
If I'm EXO, I'm not sure if I'm doing that shock right there to keep it $150. Because, you've got another set to pull a dodge. I don't assume that anyone in L's top 3 has a dodge. So, I mean, why not just wait and hold it until first set? I think you're going to have some more luck there because now, you've got L in all these top spots.
I mean, L is, like they were top 3 and the pack is so close right now. I mean, using that shock is a very interesting decision, and as we see Jed hitting that ground red, it's going to make him lose a lot of time. It's definitely going to be a big thing here. But
if I'm RT,
and another shot could potentially happen.
If we're to switch over POVs, yeah, that's it. Dude, RT used 2 shrooms in first place. I don't know if I'm doing that if I'm him, man.
Yeah,
that's
he got way too greedy, but they are top 3, so I mean,
looks like the only points they were lost were his.
Yeah, they got top 3, so I don't think Artie's he doesn't really care too much. But like you said, it's not necessarily the fact that they got top 3 anyways. It's more the principle. It's like if you're in first and you have a big lead and you have shrooms, you definitely want to keep at least one of them, especially in Peach Gardens where like a red shell isn't really threatened too much. You have to take less of a risk there because if EXO wasn't getting top 3 there, that could have been extremely bad.
First and second were kind of separated by a turn, which, in sense means that not a lot of items are just going to be able to hit RT. Like, it's just sort of like there wasn't a lot of things that could have made it so that he would lose. But we do see Tekken. Oh, wait, it's race 5.
Dude. Oh, man, I'm out of it. I thought he just
Man.
16 right in front of our eyes. I was so excited.
Yeah, I know we were like, oh my god, Tekken with the
Oh
16!
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, he makes it splash!
Yeah.
I mean, already did get greedy there, but he did get lucky, extremely lucky at that, extremely lucky. And
Yeah.
now that EXO did get that top 3, they're holding a commanding 29-point lead. So, we're seeing that EXO push, that fire, like they're coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like this is when EXO shines the brightest, is when their backs are against the wall.
These are very clutch performers we're dealing with right here. This GV pick, obviously we saw RPG last race, and we saw that EXO was able to keep their top spots on a track like that. So, I mean, if it's the same story for a track like GV, then I don't see many opportunities coming up for L to be able to take this one home. It's slowly shrinking and shrinking, even if it's only race 6.
Yeah, I mean, it's shrinking and shrinking, but I mean, if you're L, you can live with this loss more than EXO for obvious reasons. But I'm just saying, if you're L, you want to end this as soon as possible. And you see EXO, and I can only imagine if I'm L right now, I feel pretty threatened.
We're taking a look at RT's POV right now. He has a shroom in 5th, opts to use it for the little cut right there. Maybe is going to get another box here that's really good. And the blue
shell.
Oh, man, that's so good for EXO right now.
Right. Yeah, really, really good. I mean, if EXO is in first or any top spots, but he throws the blue, so that means L is in first. As you see Zesty getting back-righted there.
Zesty's back-righted, T-seed. It's all over for him there, man. And this
Mega.
Oh,
is he already changing on Mega? He's going to go to Swag? Yeah, it does get started there.
Never mind. Dead Beck really knows how to play around the pack. He knows a way. He knows his way around. 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, but he hits the ground red there. Ugh, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be too bad. Whoa, he missed the mini turbo. Oh, then he misses the rock. Oh my god, yeah, that's not good.
Oh
that's not good.
Goodness gracious! And we're seeing RT go all the way back into last place after what looks like failing the respawn. This is the D2 finals. I will say that much. However, L's 2, 3, 4 right here is going to be pretty good for them because there's a high chance that 4th is able to pull a single shroom, triple shrooms, even like a mega or something so that they can get rid of the 5th place behind them.
Yeah, I mean, I think EXO's... Oh, and as the POW gets used. That's an interesting use to the POW because it still gives their bottom spots a chance to pull shrooms here. And we're going to see if another shock does get used because I'm thinking it's going to be in play sometime soon. We're going to see. And, Jet pulls a blooper. That sucks. Wow.
Oh, man. We're seeing RT dodge up. We're seeing Zane dodge up. It might still be a good race for L right here, but I do think that EXO is able to salvage that with the dodges at the last second.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like, that's the most they could have done there. I mean, L was 2, 3, 4. The POW being used, it didn't really make too much of an impact because it was used earlier than the cut, so it definitely gave their, the bottom spots a chance to pull shrooms. Jed pulling that blooper there definitely sucked for him because he would have taken respawn, so that definitely had a part to play in why EXO salvaged those spots. So, I mean, they're not mad at that. They're not mad. They did pull off a 1-4-5-7, so they won the race. That's all they need. That's all they need. They need to increase this lead as much as even if it's just like the slightest win, they need to keep this lead. Like there's no margin for error here. You need to stay consistent with what you're doing right now. Because at any point, L can just come back, tenfold.
Yeah, I mean, L, I would say that EXO is the better clutch performer. That's why they're down 0-1 and still up by 32 right now. However,
I will say that from the individual side of things, we're seeing Tekken get very good spots a lot of these races, and it's ending up being, like a 1-4-5, a 2-3-5, or something like that. So apart from, Peach Gardens and the other track that they got a good race on. Why am I forgetting? Apart from those two races, these have been pretty back and forth between these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like this stage that we're in right now, match 2, race 7, this is the same place that L was in last match. So basically the roles have been reversed basically. So now we're seeing EXO, taking the taking the initiative, right?
Mhm,
To make
mhm.
sure that they're not out of this just as easily. And listen, I'm thinking they're listening to the stream because they're taking a lot of this to heart. They've made the correct adjustments. They've done what they had to do. They've
Mhm, mhm.
they've decreased the amount of damage that L could have potentially done to them, if things probably wouldn't have went their way. So they've done an exquisite job of damage control, you know, shock usage, item usage. Like they've done what they need to do, and this is why they're up this amount of points at this point in the war.
Yeah, I mean, just an absolutely phenomenal job from EXO. Even if it's only race 7, just them being able to take it back and, scare L a little bit into, really being like, okay, we kind of need to play differently. And speaking of playing differently, we needed Jed to get a little bit more air on that glitch, but it ends up not being, not going the full way. And he's in 5th behind these, 2 reds right now. Not a lot of things are in store for Jed that are good.
Yeah, and as we see EXO being 2-3-4 and already holding a star in 4th, so he's gonna hope that his Mank pulls a shock in 10th, 9th, or wherever. It doesn't really matter where. He just needs it. I mean, this is extremely good, but Artie's gonna use the star here. We're gonna see if he's gonna schlag, and he won't. Which
I
he
don't think
probably
I don't think Schlagen would be the play for him right there,
Yeah,
because we do see that Pow actually does get an L member off, and we are seeing top
EXO.
3 for EXO.
Top 3 break on a BCWii. So all they need to happen is Make needs to pull shock or needs to be shockless. Either one works. And we need EXO to pray to God that Blue Shell doesn't really come and,
But yeah, the
hinder
Blue
their
Shell's going to be a big factor here. However, I think that if I'm not mistaken, it is Mank who's in 9th, actually. So that's not good news if you're EXO right there, because Jed has this Mega. Taka's moving like he has a star or Bill or something like that. It's if they get shock here, if L gets shock here, this is an entirely different race, regardless of what happened during the first 2 laps.
Right. And we're not seeing a TS here, so we're gonna, I don't think any of these teams have shock yet. I mean, Jed still is holding the Mega, so he's, they probably do have it, or he might be hoping that they pull it. I don't really think that, like EXO is in much trouble here, because if they do kind of slow down at the ramp, just a little bit, just to make sure that no one gets TS. And as we see Artie pulling the blue shell, so I mean, dude, like they're in the money.
That's it right there. That's it. My blue mat? No shot. But yeah, that's gonna be it for L right there. Just the lead expanding and expanding for EXO right here. They got their track pick and they played it well. Top 2, 4, 5.
Top 2, 4, 5, yeah, because I think Yasher,
yeah.
built up last minute and or last second, last frame or whatever, and L is getting bottom 3.
So here's my question to you right now, Fresco. If you are L in this situation, right, what kind of pep talk are you having in your call right now? Because you're down by like 50. If you don't act now, it's going to go to 1-1, and you're going to have to play an extra match. And obviously, that's just going to add so much more pressure. That's going to, be like do or die. If you're L right now, what are you changing about the way that you're playing?
I feel like I'm changing more of their play style in terms of running. I think that we're seeing EXO in top spots a lot more this time, because they're like a little more they have more of a sense of urgency to be in those top spots and to be in the best stage to win the war. I'm not really seeing like L's sense of urgency, like, guys, we have to win this match like right now or else like we're out, because they're in a different position than EXO is. They don't have to win this match, right? And I'm not saying that it's not important, but EXO is in a spot where they need to win this match, and they're playing like it. you know, even though the shot count, you know, I feel like it's more catered to like EXO side, maybe slightly. You know, I don't think Shock's playing a huge role in this match, but I think that L's running has to improve significantly. They have to start schlagging like they did before. They have to start using their items a lot better than they did before. And we're not seeing that this match. We're seeing EXO taking that role.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if you're L right here, right, well, I mean, you just want to win as many matches as you can. Like, you don't want to go to a match 3. And they might be playing a little bit sloppier now that they're 1-0, and they, you know, might think that they need to relax a little bit. But I'm hoping that these next few races are sort of a wake-up call for them to realize, like, hey, man, we really need to get going in these next few races. Otherwise, we're gonna go to a match 3, and it's gonna be anybody's game. And judging by the way that EXO is playing right now, as if it's do or die, and if they don't win this, then it's just completely over for them. I think that might be an indicator as to who's taking match 3 a bit more seriously. I mean, seriously is a bad word, but, you know, taking it a bit more to heart.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, you know, I'm not saying that L isn't taking this match seriously, but it's like, you know, like when it's a 3-match series and you won a match, like your play style's a little bit more lax. You know, not to say that it's a huge difference, but you can tell like which team is like needs to win. You know, like they're playing like, you know, like this is it for them, you know, which it is, you know.
I mean,
and
reiterate that both of these teams are playing like they need to win now. However, it's just EXO in those sort of situations where they need to win now, because they've been in those situations so much. Obviously, the vet leadership in these calls, they sort of just know, like, okay, this is it. Like, if we don't win this match, it's over. So, I mean, I think that they just have that better clutch gene than L does, if I'm to say that. And to take a look at the race for a second,
yeah, so it's like just top 4. Or
yeah.
like, yeah. Like,
Jesus Christ!
I mean, dude, I mean, this is what I'm saying is that L is like nowhere to be seen, and like, you know, we were talking about this, dude. They just got fridged. This is a top 4. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
that top
where is L? Where is L in these moments? Where is L?
Where is L? That top 2-4 on BCWE followed by the top 4 on TF. I don't want to say it's over, but I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
This is getting very, very, very interesting. I mean, I like, to say the least. I mean, that top 4, that might be the icing on the cake. Might be. Now, I'm not saying it's over, but I mean, listen. You know, they're winning by 86. You know, with 4 left.
86 with 4 left, man. I mean, I've seen bigger comebacks in my lifetime, but they don't happen very frequently. I'll say that much. You know, L there, it's just, we weren't even talking about the race most of the time. It was just sort of unmemorable, you know, not really anything exciting. No exciting plays from anyone on the L team there. There weren't really any snipes. There weren't really any clutch moments. We're just sort of seeing them, you know, consistently fall farther and farther back behind. And I mean, it's no fault against them. You know, obviously they're playing their heart out, but it's just not going to be enough if you're EXO and you've been in this sort of situation before.
Yeah, and as you see Moo Meadows being picked, I mean, hey, man, I mean, like, you know, it's getting pretty bad when you pick Moo Meadows at this stage of the war. I mean, you know, but also what we were talking about in TF basically came true. It happened. EXO took the commanding spots, right? They basically just controlled every single top spot in a running track, and this is what I was talking about.
They're snowballing. Yeah, they're snowballing this.
Is they're taking the initiative to be in those spots a lot more often, which gives them a higher chance of winning these races and, you know, getting this top 4. I mean, dude, I mean, this is basically just EXO at their best. And as I said, you know, this is a team that can come out the gutter and basically just surprise you, right? So, you know, this is extremely, extremely scary for L. And, you know, if you're L, you have to adjust now, you know.
You can see that Jed is sort of, it looks like we're going to have to reset. That's why he was going backwards. I figured he was going deep into his bag or something, like going, like some new strategy where he's going for the bill, but,
yeah, I don't know.
Looks like this race won't count.
Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, that'd be very interesting if he went back like that. I mean, I've never seen anyone do that, and especially in a D2
Mm-hmm.
finals match, and it just seems kind of brain dead to do that. So I don't know. So, yeah,
I will
so
say,
definitely a reset's going on.
I will say, however, that this reset is gonna be very, very good for L. You may be out of it in quotation marks, but just having that time to be able to mentally reset, have a pep talk in the call, be like, okay, guys, it's do or die, like it's now or never. To be able to have that moment to yourself where you're able to just look at the facts, look at that you're down 86, look at, there's only 4 races left. To have that moment is so much more beneficial for them than it is for EXO. I mean, this reset is sort of a blessing in disguise for Lightspeed here.
Yeah, and also some factors. It's like
Oh,
it like
I'm
it's the
wait,
same lineup.
wait, I'm receiving word that L has forfeited. So
They have forfeited match 2. I mean, rightfully so. I mean, I honestly, it's a very questionable decision, but at the same time, you are down 86 with like a couple, with a few races left, and there's no way, or it's a very low possibility that you're gonna pull off the win in this match. And I kind of like the decision that L made because although most people will see it as like a cop out, I'm thinking that L will kind of take away the momentum that EXO has created for themselves, and they're going to level the playing field out because they kind of know that they're going to lose the match. So there's really no point in trying to drag it along, right? So and and this will give L the time to like readjust and like to talk to each other and be like, "Ayo, like we kind of have to like get our head like out of our bottoms here." And because this is match 3, this like it comes down to one match. The whole season, the whole entire season, right? All the whole season, playoffs, everything doesn't matter. The only thing that matters now is that you win this one war, and that's basically what it comes down to here. And this is going to be extremely, extremely interesting. Um, you
when
know,
you put it like that, I think that's a perfect way of putting it like that, because a lot of people on the surface, they would see L forfeiting as something, something that's, not I guess sort of competitive like, or, sportsman like. But I think that on the other hand, you have to realize that the entire season comes down to this final match. And I mean, if you're down by that much in match 2 and you're not going to win, what's the point of playing the last 4 races? That's just going to get your morale even further and further down. So I mean, I think that they made the right decision by forfeiting. I think that we have to face the facts now that it's 1-1 in the match scale. And I think that this is going to provide L with ample time to sort of just remove that last match from their heads, think about what went right in match 1, and really just play better than they did in the last match.
yeah, and also like burnout is also a factor too. Is that you're playing a lot of wars here, especially like for like Mario Kart standards, a war is a pretty long time, and the last thing you want to do in a match like this is to be burned out, all like groggy and tired. You do like if you have the opportunity to make a decision like this when the time is right, I think it's the best thing you can do because like it'll give L's players an opportunity to clear their minds a little bit, kind of stretch out, just kind of like leave that match behind them, right? And only
Mental
focus
reset,
on
yeah.
what's important is this.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that, like, we saw that L was playing their heart out in match 1. There were a lot of moments where L, really were just the better team over EXO, and they knew that this was sort of the match that they needed to win and come into with a commanding lead. And we saw EXO play their heart out in that last match too, where, they saw that they were down by an 0-1 deficit, and they needed to get back, and they needed to, really recover from how they were doing in match 1. So I think that this final match right here is probably going to be some of the best Mario Kart gameplay that we've seen tonight, because we know that both of these teams, there's a lot at stake on the line here. The entire season is at stake. A banner is at stake. A lot of bragging rights are at stake. So there are definitely a lot of things that are going to this last match that I think everyone in the lineup on both teams is thinking about.
And listen, bro, we've been waiting all season for this, man. Like these are the matches that people want to see. Okay? Like, take the whole Mario Kart, like gameplay aspect out of it. This is entertaining. People want to see this, right? It's like we've been waiting all season to see something like this. We don't want to see 2 matches. We want to see as much Mario Kart gameplay as humanly possible because the next GSC season's in like 2 months, man. It's gonna be a while, right? You know, you want to see as much as you can. And listen, these two teams, based on how they performed, basically EXO did a whole 180, right? Match one versus match two. So now, like now the scales are even. They're
They
basically
know.
on a straight line, right? And this is just like how can we even make a prediction at this point? How can anyone even tell? Because this could go either way. Like it's like flipping a coin. Like you gotta leave it up to like up to God or something or to the universe to decide who's gonna win this match, man. And
Well,
I
I will say this. I will say this. The betting odds are heavily stacked against Lightspeed right here. As I'm looking into this chat right now and I'm seeing who's going to take the icing on the cake, it's 93% EXO to 7% Lightspeed. So that's got to be something like 10,000 plus betting odds right there. I mean, a lot of people don't think that L is going to take this one home. So they may just absolutely shock all of us and rebound from that last match and be able to really try their best here.
bro, this is like Mario Kart Vegas, man. Like we're having like a casino in here, man.
True.
I mean, yeah, like this is interesting how EXO is getting bet against because, or not EXO, L, because you know because both teams have basically like flip flopped on each other. We've seen L play to their fullest potential. We've seen EXO play to their fullest potential. So now it's basically just up to which team will play better. But what I can understand about betting for EXO is that they've been in this position before and they've come out on top. So people will kind of like think about it, okay, like this happened before. So it'll probably happen now. Like history will probably, happen again or repeat itself.
In this rivalry before, we have seen EXO take the cake a lot. Obviously, there was last year, I think it might have been Spring Split. Yeah, Spring Split 2021. We saw these two teams face off against each other, and EXO ended up taking it home in three matches. We've seen EXO win more in scrims. We've seen EXO win a lot more in clutch moments. When they need to really be the team that comes out on top, or else it's over. I think that it might be the same right here, man. I think that I'm gonna change my prediction and take EXO in 3.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really biased here. I just like to see a good match. I mean, listen, man, I don't know if I'm even in a position to even think about who's going to win this match because, like, this is just so even. Like, these teams are just so even. It's like it's hard. It's hard. I mean, it's a really hard choice. Like, even though the odds in the MK board stream is, could say otherwise. As we see MG being picked first. I mean, hey guys, deja vu. This happened match one. This happened match one.
This is their home turf right here. This is where L makes all of their memories, all of their funny moments, all of their niche snipes. This is their home track for the Kitty Cats.
So we're gonna see already pulling a draft here and has a fib in first. So we're gonna see if he trails. He probably isn't because Zane's right behind him.
We see this top 3 on MG, and I mean, this is just such a prime position if you're Lightspeed right here because you've got Jed with the star. You have it looks like Mank and Maxi are about neck and neck with each other right now.
Right.
This golden 2, man. I mean, this is just so prime if you're Lightspeed right here.
Yeah, this is extremely good. I mean, listen, Jed is most likely, for sure gonna do this golden strat. As we see Matt going on the left here. So we're gonna see L being top 2, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And we do see actually that Mank is sort of moving funny. So I think that he does actually have the shock. So that's going to be big if you're EXO right here, especially because RTS used this mega. We could see a lap 2er, maybe. No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I mean, but he did get lucky there because he almost got TC there. And as we see the shock happening, and as we see Tekken dodging in the bill. And Jed barely doesn't get TS'd.
Jed is just hanging on for glory right there. That not getting the TS there is a big game changer for EXO because obviously, he was so close twice to getting TS'd. And I mean, he would have gotten the good respawn, but it still would have been a very, very different race for EXO, especially now that RT has this TC. If he had gotten TS'd, he probably wouldn't have this TC right now.
Yeah, that's just really unfortunate. He pulled a TT twice, but he didn't get lucky the second time. So we're gonna see if EXO can replace the fourth place here, which I'm thinking they are in fourth. So this is gonna be very dependent on who has shock again and who's gonna be able to take gap lap number 3.
The shock right here. We see Taka dodging up. I think that this is probably gonna be a better race for L than we expected. Yep, we're seeing EXO get TC'd, Zesty, Taka, and Jed all in the top 3. Or in the mid 3, I'm sorry. And a bottom 3 for EXO right there. Wow.
I think that's a bottom 4.
No,
I think. No, I don't know. Wait, because like I saw another EXO player back there. I'm not sure. I could be wrong.
Wait for it.
Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please.
Okay,
Okay, yeah, no. We're good.
We're good.
Okay. Everything's fine. Okay, I was about to freak out there. I was, but 2, 3, 4 for L. EXO can live with that. It's definitely not what they want, but that could have been a lot worse than what it actually turned out to be.
That 2, 3, 4, 6 right there. I mean, that's just what I was saying, man. L is gonna always find a way to win Mushroom Gorge, and if they aren't, it's a pretty good indicator of how the match is gonna go, because they're just so skilled at that track. They've obviously watched Sarge's tutorial on it like a million times. So I mean, they definitely know what they're doing on Mushroom Gorge, and they're definitely gonna take it home. But it's coming. It's what's next this race. It's if L is going to be able to snowball similar to how EXO did in the last match, that'll really determine the future of this match. I mean, we're in race 2, but it could be decided by top 4 here if they're able to snowball from that.
Yeah, and as we see, KC being picked and BC3. So I'm thinking BC3 will be better for L, and KC will be better for EXO. And as we see BC3 being picked, so
BC3 here. I will say this: Taka is a historically great Ultra taker. I don't want to put any pressure on them, but they definitely have been known to make the Ultra in clutch moments. And obviously, in a room like this, you're gonna have a lot of people fiending for the Ultra. The regular cut is gonna be blocked so much that you're definitely gonna have 2 or 3 people on it. But even in those sort of situations, Taka is very, very well at the Ultra Storka, and they are able to perform in those clutch moments on this track.
As we see, already having a shroom here, and he makes cut.
He is not getting blocked, and that's probably going to end up being about even for both of these teams right here. Every racer is basically able to take the cut, and it's just sort of going to be around the same pack that we saw before.
Yeah, I mean, these teams are going to go back and forth. This race. I mean, these packs are extremely, extremely separate. Like you can see, like if you fail cut or if you get bumped off, or you don't even take cut at all even, that's going to be a big uphill battle, and, good chance that,
we're seeing that snipe
catching up.
We're seeing that snipe right there from RT is going to put him in first place. However, it'll be dependent on who is able to pull the blue shell, and it looks like EXO are in better odds to pull it because they are in 4-5. However, this cut taker is going to change a lot of things. We do see Zesty coming up into first place, and now he has a little bit of a break.
As we see a blue shell coming up into Zesty's line, and already has the TC.
He's able to pass the TC.
Wait. To Zestos.
Maybe he's trying his hardest. Oh man, no, he's gonna have to fall off with that one. And I think he's been the bad respawn too. Yeah, he's going all the way back down to 6th.
As we see L with the blue shell, so they're going to throw that one.
Oh my god, this is huge for L right here. You're in 2, 3, 4 with the blue shell. I mean, I'm not kissing their chances goodbye for EXO, but it's not looking good.
Already pulling a blue. How many blue shells are we going to see this race, dude? We've already seen 3. You've seen 3 of them.
Blueberry pies all across the track, ladies and gentlemen. I just can't believe what we're seeing right now.
Man, this is like a blueberry pie. Oh, and as we see shock happening, already dodges.
That's what I just said. Oh my lord, dude!
Oh my
how many blues are gonna be?
Oh,
this is getting a little ridiculous now. But that's going to completely change up the race here, as we are seeing EXO in these mid spots, and I think they might be in first as well. Looking like an L top 2. Never mind, that's on me. Oh, I think this is L top 2.
L top 2. L top 2. Yeah, 3, 4, 5 for EXO, and dude, I mean,
holy cow!
1, 2, 3, 4. Like
Dude, it was looking like a 2011 worldwide right there with a hacker in it. I mean, oh my lord, just
Oh my
one
God.
person pulled the blue, they threw it. As soon as it hit, another guy pulled it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing right there. I mean, the only thing I could really say was blueberry pie, but you know.
Blueberry pie, dude. Dude's like blueberry pancakes. It's just like
A lot of blue stuff
does
going
someone,
around along the track.
does someone want to admit they have item wheel? Anyone? It's like anyone have the item wheel? Yeah, so I mean, just say it now.
2022? Come on. No
Your
way.
sentence will be reduced if you say it now. You know, just take.
Oh
Please
man,
take
that's a
the wheel on that one.
throwback. Item wheel, you know, RT would have had to like stream his startup 10 years ago.
Oh my God, dude. 4 blues, man. That's crazy. And as we see L taking that 16-point lead, it's definitely not the worst. But you know, if you're EXO, you know, you don't want to make that any more than that. You know, for sure.
KC and DKS right here. DKS is going to be a very, very good pick for Lightspeed because obviously they're very great drivers. They know how to perform in the front. Moonview Highway is another one of those tracks where, you know, if you're able to build a lead, then it's very difficult for the enemy team to catch up. So DKS or Moonview Highway here, either of these tracks are going to prove to be very beneficial for Lightspeed, and we do actually end up getting DK Summit.
Wow. And
they are very good drivers on this track. I think that if I'm not mistaken, everyone on this team from Lightspeed has like a 150 or even a 149 on this track. So their driving ability is definitely going to outmatch EXO's here. It's what EXO does with their items and the cards that they are dealt with that's really going to determine who wins this race, because L, from the get-go, they have an advantage.
yeah, exactly. And you know, the minute you slip up, listen, I mean, like
Yeah,
against
it's
a
done
team like this, it's done, man. I mean, listen, like, you know, like we might be talking later down the line, like, oh, like this team has to or EXO or L has to win this race, but listen, EXO has to win this race because listen, it's all about the momentum. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the like momentum factor in that, you know, L is playing a track that they're extremely strong at, and if you let them get what they want, I mean, listen, that can only get worse.
You know, if they win on the summit, if Lightspeed wins on the summit, then they're going to be able to snowball. No pun intended. But I mean, that red right there, I mean, you still have L in top 2. This is the running prowess that I was talking about. Oh, I thought someone failed double. That's my fault.
Either of them take double, so Artie will have a chance to red Taka here in second.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Neither of them taking double right there might be a misplay. I mean, you would have assumed that at least one of them would have. But on the other POV, we are seeing Jed with the blue shell. This is huge. This is just absolutely huge news. And the shock.
And the shock that dodges L. And the shock that dodges L and basically just solidifies top 2. And, you know, that's basically all she wrote here. Unless, folks, like, 5 blue shells get pulled again.
That may not be a snowball. This could be an avalanche that we're seeing here on the summit. That green for Jed is not going to be too pretty, but I mean, there's just such a lead in top 2 that I don't think that EXO is going to be able to do anything this race to really get a good spot.
Yeah. I mean, I think the most that they can do is get like 3, 4, 5, perhaps. You know, just kind of like reduce the damage by a little bit, but that's still not really a good, you know, that's not a good look. But they can definitely somewhat live with that. You know, even though it's not what they want, it's definitely not the worst that could have happened. But listen, I mean, if you're EXO, you have to pick it up now. Like this is the time you got to do it, because you know you can't just keep saying, oh, you know, next time. No, like it's gonna happen now, because you know this war is you know, just slowly coming by. You know, the time is running out, right? And you know, the races keep going down and down and down, and it's going to come down to a point where if EXO can't get a grip on their play style and, you know, basically what they did the last war, then, you know, this is going to be an L banner here.
And I'm receiving word from chat, and this is from a trusted source in chat. I'm receiving word that was actually an EXO shock to begin with.
Are you serious? Nah, come on, man. Don't play games with me. Don't play with me, man. There's no way.
I'm seeing Evan in the chat. say that it was an EXO shock. You know, they dodged up in a bill in 5th place. They might have thought that that might have been the great play right there to save their race, but
But L is top 2. Well, I mean, like even like listen, like if that was EXO shock, let's just say that was okay for a minute. Why would you do that? That makes no sense. Like, come on. Like, I mean, like L is top 2. If you want to use the shock, year 3, 4, 5, just wait. Just wait. You know, I mean, come on. Like, there's no way. You know, I want to give EXO the benefit of the doubt and just say that that wasn't their shock because I just don't want to, you know, get amped up on that.
oh yeah, for sure. You're gonna be thinking about that for the whole match now if you're EXO.
Yeah,
if that actually was your shock. Because that's just gonna give top 2, you know, a run for free. Taka and Matt probably don't even need to talk about the race from there on out. You know, they can talk about the weather or some stuff because they know that they're gonna get top 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's just crazy. Well, anyways, you know, we're in KC right now. That's definitely going to be something that's going to be something to talk about after this war.
Big morale difference right there if that was their shock. You know, you definitely have EXO more sad and you've got L, you know, more up. But coming into this race now, we're mid of lap 1,
and if one of these baggers has a starter drop, then I think if Maxi has a starter drop right here, nope. I was gonna say that would have been a very, very big difference for Jed right there, as I don't think anyone in 2-3-4 had a green shell to take Sherman with.
Yeah, so as we see L being 1-3, so they are commanding these top spots here. I mean, this is like, and I think they're top 2 now. And as a blue shell comes to hit Jed in first, so that's definitely a good sign for EXO. But you know, they are 2-3. You know, we need a little bit more EXO presence here. Hopefully, we'll see them shrooming up here. Oh, as we see, already getting back green there. That's
that is such a great green right there. That is so good from I think it might have been Taka that backed that. I mean, that's just gonna be able to make Taka keep their lead in first place. And I think that if there's a blue now, it's not going to be as difficult to plan around as it was before.
L's top 3. I mean, hey man, that green had already saying hi to the Einsteins for a minute. I mean, that thing had a flying.
It's 200 IQ for sure. That's going in the montage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this top 2 for L right here, we're just seeing them in these top spots. You know, we can't really see a lot of like the driving prowess of EXO just because they're not really getting that many opportunities in the front, and this POW could definitely change a lot of things. I will not speak for L until the race is over because of this POW. However, we're not really seeing this match a lot of movement from EXO in the front. They're definitely having to play from the middle, which is not going to benefit you a lot of the time.
Yeah, I don't really think that's going to impact anything. I think L still pulls off top 2 there.
Yeah, top 2 and 5. Yep, top 2-5 for Lightspeed right there.
Yeah, I mean, as we're saying, that snowball effects, and you know, going back to the last race there. I mean, shock really wasn't, you know, didn't really do no impact, didn't really get used. I mean, this is more of just L displaying their superiority in being in top spots. At least for this race, you know, we're seeing L commanding the top spots, and you know, this is a reoccurring theme, right? Whoever controls the top spots is more likely to win. Now, if you know, because you can't rely on your bagger to pull shocks. You know, this is D2 finals. You know, like this isn't so shock reliant as some people might think. Now, does shock play a big part? Yes, but you know, this is a driving match. This is a driving match. Who is going to command the top spots? Who's going to use their items better? Who's going to, you know, shroom up, you know, take the best strats, build this and that. And we're just seeing L just, you know, doing that better. You know, they're just driving better. That's
for sure. Yeah, we may need to see EXO go back to the DMV after this one because we're just seeing L take so many commanding leads in first and second place. And I think if they're able to keep picking those tracks like Moonview Highway, DDR, DKS, BCWE, a lot of those tracks that are very run reliant, and they're able to keep it shockless or have Maxi hold the shock, they're just going to keep snowballing with this one. And I mean, we saw Taka and Matt combine for 43 and 38 respectively that GP. That's what I'm saying about how great of scorers these guys are at Lightspeed.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is it's still race 5. They're only losing by like 38. Okay, so they're not out of the war, but what we're seeing here is EXO crumbling just a little bit. You know, not to say that they don't have a chance anymore, but you know, we need to see a different version of EXO. We need to see match 2 EXO coming out because you know if that doesn't happen or if we keep seeing the same reoccurring themes here, then you know L is basically just gonna take it away.
Yeah, and I mean, Lightspeed's definitely making me eat my own words here, changing my prediction, saying it was going to be EXO in 3. I think that EXO are going to have a lot of opportunities in these next 7 races to be able to make it even. Like that bomb right there. That bomb was very, very good.
Yeah, very good bomb.
We definitely just saw right there sort of a game changer in this race. And I think if EXO is able to have more moments like that where they realize, okay, like we're only down by 38, but this is it. Like if we lose, we lose. I think if they're able to have more moments like that and perform in moments like that, we're definitely going to be seeing a much closer match here. As we are seeing EXO dodging in top 2 now. I mean, Jed is sort of fighting for his life up here, trying to avoid the star, any red shells or anything like that, getting bumped off too. It's
oh, see the fib, the niche fib.
He's off. Good night. Oh man.
Go to bed. Go to bed. That is going. That's definitely going on the montage. That's a dee boom fib. Just out of there.
Jed, and now he's back in first place. This mega for RT though could definitely change a lot of things. We do see that Tekken is trying to hit Zesty in 3rd. I mean, this is a very schlag heavy track, but I mean, that fib, man. Oh my lord, the race would be so much different for EXO right now.
That's what we like to see. I mean, listen, like EXO had to use that lap 1 shock. I honestly don't really, you know. I mean, like the fact that they used that shock there, it's it's definitely. Oh, and he misses the jump and he falls off. See, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's like a driving game here. You know, it's like despite them losing here, the pack was still close. You know, and it's like we're still seeing L in these top spots. So like that's what I'm saying. Like the driving is just on another level with L right now, and you know they're just playing. You know, like they're playing like they're like listen like. You know, like whatever you said about match 2 Fresco, you're wrong, dude. Like you're just sorry. You know.
Oh man. Okay. I think we are seeing a 2-3 for EXO right there. 2-3 for maybe? No. Not 2-3-4. I thought I was looking at the wrong POV. Sorry. But a 2-3 right there is very, very big for them because while you were talking, there was a blue. Maxi was trying to drop a star. There was just so much stuff going on the other POV that we weren't really able to catch up on. And EXO just sort of came out of the gutter and were able to use their items to the advantage. I mean, RT pulled a star in 8th and was able to get 3rd out of it. A star in 8th last set, I mean. So, I mean, you know, yeah, they definitely salvaged that race a lot. And they're making it so that their leads in these races are not as big as in the past.
Yeah, and you know, we're just seeing L displaying a high level of driving, just straight up, just top spots all the time, and you know, like the fact that EXO is just getting lucky and salvaging these spots is not really what you're going for. You know, although it's a good thing that they kind of have some damage control. You can't just keep saying, "Oh yeah, don't worry." You know, uh, we just like damage control. No, you need to win these races. Okay, like there's 6 races left. You know, something needs to change here. We need to see EXO in the top spots more. We need to see them schlagging more. We need to see them getting L out of those top spots more. They can't be relying on lap 1 shocks. You know, that's just desperation.
There's definitely got to be some room for worry here if you're EXO. Not enough to where, you're slipping the controller out of your hand, you're using items when you don't want to, all of that stuff. But I mean, there's definitely just got to be something in you right now that's like, all right, time to wake up. We might not be down 0-1, but we are down by 40 points with only 6 races left to go. So, I mean, there have been bigger comebacks. There have definitely been moments where teams have been able to rile up from a deficit like this and be able to really, shine through in the moment. But we're going to need to see that sort of movement right now from EXO. It's do or die for them currently.
Yeah, I mean, Jet getting TC'd here is definitely not what you want in CM. You know, CM isn't too much of a luck track. I mean, this is a lot more skill, you know, a lot more like running slat, you know, so it's not really completely just black and white in terms of like, you know, the luck aspect of it. So if you're in these top spots, more likely than not, you're going to keep them.
I think that if EXO are able to do a good job of taking Taka out of first place, and they're able to be top 2-4 or top 3, it's just going to be a 1v1 for Taka to really try their best at you know, making what's work, and hopefully they don't get top 3 out of something like that. We are seeing RT shroom up close to them, and we are seeing, you know, a lot of movement coming in from RT, trying to be more aggressive around Taka so that they can maybe get into this top 3, top 4 position.
Yeah, I'm thinking EXO is praying for the blue shell here. I mean, because Taka is in a very, very good spot. And like as I said, if you're in that top spot, if you're in first, nothing can really stop you. Unless the pack is like super close and like, you know, mid spots pull like a shrooms or something and you're just too close to them. But we're seeing Taka here. I think he's in a star. I think they dropped a star for Taka. So
that star drop is very crucial. Oh wait,
yeah.
never mind.
Never mind. Yeah, he just came out of it, and oh, as we see the shock happening
Dude,
for EXO.
I totally believed you with that star drop. Oh my
Yeah,
lord.
I literally thought that he got like a star drop or something, but
Oh my goodness gracious. I mean 1-3 for EXO right here is going to be really big. This is the race where they need to sort of rile up and be able to take back this deficit, and we are seeing, I think it's 1-3-4-5, maybe even 1-3-4 for them.
Yeah, we're gonna see if he can
He's
here.
able to land this fib.
Ooh, ouch.
Oh,
Oh,
ouch.
ooh, that was close hitting his own teammate. That was close. Yeah. That was that was scary.
Will not lie. I'm not even in the match.
That was scary. That was yeah. That could have been bad, but EXO pulling the 1-3-4-5. These are the races that they need to get from now on. At the very minimum, they need to take this race and they need to you know, do something with it. They need to choose the tracks that they're best at, obviously, and they, you know, as I said, they have to control these top spots. And you know, they just, you know, like I'm not saying they got lucky here, but they did pull shock. You know, so you know, I would like to see EXO being in the top spots when shock doesn't happen, because you don't want to completely like just like depend on it. You know what I mean?
For sure, yeah. And I think that this is sort of the movement that we need to see from EXO. And if you're Lightspeed here, you're taking a deep breath. You're sort of analyzing the situation how it is. You're up 20 by with 5 races left to go, but you want to make sure that what you did to EXO in the first 6 races doesn't happen to you in the latter half. You don't want to slow down the pace in the latter half. You need to realize it's time to go. You know, we got to hope for a track like MC3 or Luigi Circuit or Moo Moo Meadows, any track to be able to try and come back from that deficit right here. The track pick for L right here is the most important track pick of the entire match.
I mean, listen, man, as I said, you have to run, you have to command those top spots, you have to use your items to the best of their abilities, you know, coordinate back spams, call them out, even double back if you're top 2. You know, you have to do everything possible to make sure that you're in the best position possible in order to win these races. It's so important. It's like we're basically repeating ourselves. I feel like a jack in a box saying this all the time, but it's true. It's fact.
Yeah. You know, these teams, the EXO knows how to perform in the clutch, and L knows how to snowball and really keep a lead. So, I mean, when you have those two teams that are facing off against each other in such a clutch playoff moment, it's definitely going to be... Oh, yeah, that's so bad. It's definitely going to be, like, super, super big as to who's going to prevail. You know, the ones who are keeping the leads or the ones who are trying their absolute hardest to play their heart out.
Oh, ouch again. Oh, my goodness. It's just a bomb galore for Artie. He's pulling triple reds like it's like there's no tomorrow.
Such a bad time for Artie right now. This triple reds, the double back bomb. I mean, it's not good. But I mean, as I was saying, playing your heart out, you know, if you're EXO right now and you really want to make sure that you can come back from this deficit and hold a commanding lead in these next final races.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, Artie's holding blue, EXO is top 2. Actually, no, they're 1-3. But this is what EXO wants, you know, or actually they're top 2 now. But like, if you're EXO, this is what you want. You want to be top 2. You want to stay in that position. And oh, Tekken gets I think he gets like Reddit or sniped out of second, so L is 2-3-4. So that's definitely not a good thing, especially Jed holding star here. So we might be seeing an L shock. We might be
Jed
seeing
with the star in third is just so big for Lightspeed if they have shock, because they're going to be able to TS the guy in first, most likely at least, or get him to the red room maybe, do any number of things in order to, you know, ruin his race and ruin his whole day. And I mean, if you have the shock right now and you're able to own Yosh and yup, there it is. There it is. We're seeing an shock right now. This triple greens pull is going to be amazing.
Not good.
Never mind. Yeah. Oh, he doesn't get the snipe on him.
He doesn't need it, but it definitely would have helped out.
It would have helped a lot for sure, yeah. I'm not sure if I'm Jed right there, if I'm backing those triple greens. Because the only person behind you who's going to hit them is Zesty. Unless you call him out like very quickly.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that the better play there would have been to try and schlag second place. Maybe get him after the conveyor, just so that Zesty could have that extra speed boost and try and get top 2 there. But nonetheless, a very good race for Lightspeed and a very clutch shock pull from Maxi.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that, like you said before, like that's a good point you brought up. The fact that Jed backed those greens, I'm thinking he should have kept them with him, and then he could have just bumped into first and just, you know, schlagged first out. Because as you said, if you back those greens, you have the chance of getting your own teammate. Definitely not what you want. You know, we are seeing L here, you know, taking that lead back just a little bit, you know. Definitely a very good race for L. But if you're EXO now, I think it you know, it's kind of slipping away here. You know, I think now is the time that you have to take the action to, you know, get these spots. And, you know, it's easier said than done. You know, we're not in their shoes, so it's not like we just, you know, like we're like, oh yeah, you know, go up in the top spots and do this and that. And then it's like it's just easy to do. It's not easy to do because you're playing against a team that's good. You know, like they're of course going to do everything they can to stop you from getting those spots, but you have to, you know, you just got to do everything you can. You know, it's really just one of those things. You know, you kind of have to bring your A game out, and you know, it sounds cliche, but you know, you're at the stage in the war, and you're seeing your title chances slipping up. You know, you kind of have to pull up
now or never. It's now or never for EXO right here. And this Bowser's Castle pick is not going to be doing them any favors. This is a heavy running track, both in all aspects of the game. And I think that another thing to mention is that going into that TF race, L were very bad spots. L were like, pray that we pull build, pray that we pull shock, pray that we pull so many different items kind of spots. And I think that, you know, it's very commendable that they were able to get back into those top spots and get a 1-3-4-5 that race. Because without that, it's an entirely different story right now as to who's in the lead and who's not.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it just goes to show how the L's driving is, their item usage, they're doing exactly what they have to do. You know, as we see already streaming up in the cut here, we're going to see if he can red Jed out of first, which he can. So that's very big for EXO, and they're top 3.
That's so huge. That is so huge if you're EXO right then.
Yeah, very huge. So we're going to see if EXO can double back. As I said, you know, hey man, I'm mentioning this, I'm saying this for you guys. Double back, triple back, you know, you have to do that. When you guys are top spots, you got to get them out. And as we see Taka is streaming up just a little bit.
I think another big thing to mention is that we're seeing both of these teams, you know, in these sort of...
Taka's getting blue.
That blue is going to be so bad for Taka right there, because obviously they backed up. They knew that if they got blued, it was basically over for their chances of getting a top spot this race. I mean, not really, but it's going to make it a hell of a lot harder. So, I mean, they knew all of those circumstances, and yet they weren't able to back away from the blue in time and really make it so that it was the effects were negated. They didn't even catch anyone in it.
Yeah, and that green in the middle of the bridge got Zane out of there. It's definitely a big green, and you know, like Zesty streaming up there was very big for L. You know, like not to mention, you know, it's like, you know, L is just commanding these spots. You know, you know.
As I was saying earlier, we are definitely seeing these teams, you know, they pick these running tracks, but it's not the team that you would expect to be in like top 2 or top 3 who actually pick the track, who are actually up there. Obviously L is up there now. They got a good spot they got good spots last race, but it's going to be a very different story. It's going to be a very different story if Mank is able to pull the shock here and is able to really change the game for EXO right here, because I assume that they have some dodges or some good items to hit L with.
Yeah, I mean, L is 1-3, and, Zesty has to come in first. As we see, he gets trailed by Artie with the Nana. Very interesting sequence of events there. He does back his only protection, so he's going to get redded.
Ouch.
I don't know if that's very smart there. And he's the Nana.
We are seeing top 3 for L is... Oh, man. Ouch.
That's not good. That's not good. Is he going to back this Fid? On the rail?
He's backing it on the rail. Yep, there it is. Right there. Top 3 for Lightspeed.
Yeah. Ouch.
And we're seeing their lead just increase by so much more. I mean, that's an over 20-point race. It's getting tougher. It's definitely getting a lot tougher for EXO right here. They're in a similar situation to how L was last match, and hey, we all know how that ended in them forfeiting, so...
Yeah, they definitely shouldn't forfeit. That's kind of pushing it, but
yeah,
it's just one of those things where you're seeing L, and everyone's seeing it. Everyone is seeing what's going on here. L is, like, as one L member gets out of first, another one comes into first. Like, this is like zombies. Like, this is like playing zombies in COD, bro. It's like as one zombie comes out, it's like the other one just pulls up right after it. You know what I mean?
For sure,
so
for sure.
L
Yeah.
is just not letting up. They're not letting up. They're not conceding to EXO. So even though EXO might blew one out of first, then you'll see another one coming up, because that's how their presence is. Their presence is very, very strong.
And take a look at the scores right now. Everyone in L is performing. Everyone in L is performing at their absolute best. We've got Matt in first, Talk in second, Jed in third, Zesty in fifth. All of these guys are phenomenal scorers, and they know how to score just a lot of points and get up into the top spots and run a lot and not be that affected by blues. And also for Maxi, a lot of props to Maxi right here, because he's pulling a lot of these clutch shocks that L really needs in order to win these races. And so I think that all of these guys are just playing at their absolute phenomenal best. And the door is closing for EXO right now. It's not really a matter of them playing poor. I just think that L really has in the bag right now, and they know that it is now or never.
See, I see it as EXO is being neutralized, because L, in terms of running, has been outperforming EXO. Let's all establish that. But what we're also seeing is that L is also holding their own in terms of shot. So that's basically stripping EXO's hopes of basically getting the spots that they want, because they're not controlling the spots to begin with, right? So, you see L in these top spots and this and that, they're running it up. So they're not completely reliant on shot as much as EXO is. So when you see that L is pulling these shocks, what does EXO have? You know what I'm saying? So, to a degree, they are being kind of neutralized and kind of turned into a team that, is not completely themselves.
Yeah, and I think that, a lot of... It's just been so much Mario Kart at this point that when you're on the final GP of the final match of the final match of the GSC season, let's just establish that already, too. I think that if you've just played this much Mario Kart and you've practiced this much, it's just sort of like a running out of gas for some of these EXO players. Maybe they were able to exert a lot of that energy when they were down 0-1, and they were definitely able to take it 110%. But now, obviously, you've got L. They're making all of their shortcuts, as we do see Jed get up into 6th place right there with a star in 5th in his pocket, if we switch over to the other POV. We're seeing that a lot of these EXO players, they're just sort of they're running like it's almost bedtime. We've got a lot of vets, and it's getting tough for all of these vets to keep awake.
I mean, listen, man, that's kind of interesting you said that, because it comes down to preparedness. How prepared are you to really play this match? I don't think being tired should be an excuse as to why they're not really winning the match. I think a lot of it, like that's a good point that you made. Like that's a very, very good thing that you made because dude, 3 wars is a lot for anyone, right? That's a lot of time
True,
and you're
yeah.
playing a
That's
video game
3 hours.
right? But it's like which team is gonna kind of like, put that aside, right? You know, like this isn't like a sport, but it's like, bro, like your thumbs can't be getting tired at this stage. Like this is for the championship. You know what I mean? And like also, like if you're not really energized, go get a Red Bull. I don't know. Do something, you gotta do something, like you're playing for the championship. So I'm not saying that's necessarily an excuse, but I think that does kind of play a factor in why EXO might not be performing the way they should.
And obviously, uh, I think that for a lot of EXO right now, they're just sort of like they're trying to scrape at what they can get, and it's just not enough. We're seeing expand this lead even further. Going into race 10, they're down 59. There isn't a lot of room for them to make a major change right in the middle of the voting screen between race 10 and 11, or race 9 and 10, as we're seeing right now. There's not a lot of room for them to really change what they're doing fundamentally to the point where they can come back from this deficit.
Yeah, I mean, they're losing by 59 points. That's a very, very huge margin. The only way that I can really see EXO pulling this off is that they pull off, top four and, other good races. But, you don't like to have that problem. You don't like to have that problem where you're basically just relying on these, like, oh, we have to have these big races because, you're playing against a team who's extremely good and they're not just going to let you get that race, right? So you're fighting an extremely high, steep uphill battle here as we see Moo Meadows getting picked. You know, I don't know. Like this is, like this, like it's slipping away, and I think that like the tiny string that they have is like if this race goes anything like neutral or L advantage or like even like a small EXO advantage, then I think that L is gonna capture this title.
They are running out of time. In fact, it's not race 12 yet per se, but it may be enough to say that they've ran out of time. They don't have enough energy to really make a big change. They don't, have a lot of things that they can pull out of their bag that will really make it so that they're able to win this match. We're just gonna see a lot of these L members run it up in the top spots if EXO doesn't do, any big changes. And I think that might be what we're gonna see right now, in this race even, because we've got Jed in first place. We have the other L members in the back in case they need to dodge or golden up or anything like that. So I mean, these mid spots for EXO, man, that's kind of been the death of them for this entire matchup.
Yeah, I mean, L can play it safe here, and that's one of the things that they're really comfortable with and they're really happy with, is that they can play it safe here. They don't have to take big risks. All they have to do is, and as the star gets dropped for Artie, that might be something here. We'll
It's
see.
gonna be huge.
And there we go. And he gets Jed out of first.
Bully him right into the locker, but the blue is gonna get him.
Onto the grass.
Ouch.
Yeah, ouch. Yeah, that's not good. That's
Not what you like to see.
Definitely not. Yeah, that's yeah, that's I think that's all she wrote.
Yeah. I mean, Artie getting 8th there. That's
That's
gotta
it.
suck, man. That's just gotta put a frowny on your face right there, because you starred Jed, you bullied him into the locker, you got him right into the fence, right where you wanted him, and then you just get blued over the meadow, and then everyone's passing you in goldens and dodges and everything like that. That's just got to make you at least a tiny bit tilted. And while they did end up winning that race, it was by so little to where it almost just doesn't even affect L, like, in the long term. They have 331 points. If they win this next race, it's over. Like, statistically over, unless Maxi trolls, which I don't think he's going to troll. I think he's probably just going to opt to go forwards in that stance. It's just, they're out of time.
I think the only thing, like the 0.0001% chance that EXO has is if they fish for pens at this point.
But
And even then, like that's not gonna happen.
It's
Because
so
Max doesn't have to
unlikely.
do anything. He doesn't have to do anything.
It's
No.
just so unlikely that there's a pen that happens. Maxi's a very, very, very intelligent bagger. Probably one of the most intelligent baggers to ever live. Like I've never really seen him troll ever in clutch moments, especially. And so I don't think he's gonna troll. I don't think that L is gonna let their guard down. I don't think that EXO getting their track pick is gonna scare them at all or anything like that. So if I think that blue over the meadow pit, that was game. That's it right there.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say, oh, L are the D2 champions, but you are gonna be hearing me say that in about 5 minutes.
Did you just like contradict yourself?
I did, yes, for sure.
Wait a second. I
Oh,
mean,
man.
like, you're not wrong though. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, listen, as as unbiased and as optimistic as we have to be as casters, like we know when a match is won or lost, and it's just one of these things where L just brought it. They did what they had to do, and
Yeah, I mean, saying that EXO is gonna have some miracle happen to them right here is sort of like that meme where it's like Chris Paul hits a huge lead to cut the lead down to 39. I mean, it's not gonna really happen. We played so much, we know that L is gonna take this one home.
yeah, it's not even a question. And it's actually funny that 93% of the people bet it on EXO.
I mean, that's just the thing, man. L is able to play against all odds. I assume that they knew that the odds were something like 93-7 at their absolute worst in the chat. I think that they knew that a lot of people didn't really want to see them win, or at least didn't bet on them winning, and they were able to play through it. They're winning by 52 right now. It's pretty difficult for them to lose this race, even with these POWs and these shocks and everything like that. It's still going to be pretty difficult for them to really lose this match. I just think that they were the better clutch performer. As clutch as I talked about EXO being, I definitely do think that Lightspeed were the ones to really play well in this scenario.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm sure L did not care one bit about those odds. So they were on a mission, and
they put that stuff beside them.
They put it aside, bro. It's just one of those things where, and I think shock might happen here. No.
I think you were predicting an ASP shock. Yeah.
I think they just waited and might have seen a cancellation here. As we see Artie dodging here.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I was just about to say that, man. Oh, man. Oh, might be eating my own words right here.
I don't know what to say here, dude. I mean, this is if we see an all-run top 5.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, man.
I'm gonna just this is gonna be. I don't even know what to say, bro.
We're gonna be so cooked. We're gonna be so cooked as casters, man. Oh my lord. Dude. Oh man.
Oh man. We're gonna see here, man. We're gonna see. Wait a minute.
Oh my goodness gracious. I can't believe I just witnessed that with my own eyes. I ragged on the whole race. Dude.
We were talking about how L was like, oh yeah, this is over, and then EXO always gets top 4. All right.
This is how clutch they are, man. This is it. This could be it right here.
This is I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think L is still gonna have a pretty commanding lead, but still, I mean, this gives EXO the chance. They are losing by 19 points. So they can pull this off.
Yeah.
By a miraculous cause.
A top 3-8 would net them a tie. I think top 3-8-9 would net them a tie. I would have to check it, but
I think that a top 3 here is probably going to be the dagger. If EXO are able to pull this one off and win by over 21, I don't even know what to say, man.
God help me now. God help me now. Whoa, this just got very interesting, bro. We were basically the whole race. We were like, yo, L just won for sure, and there's no chance for EXO. But now, Okay, I mean now this is
Just wanted like
this is different now.
EXO just wanted like a 15-0 run, dude. Like they just hit a grand slam.
All right, but this all comes down to one race, Henry, and EXO is definitely not in the best spot, but it's definitely possible.
And we are seeing RT pull the shroom in second. He's opting to use it, and he pulls another one at the island set. I think it's definitely going to be a rock hop from him that is going to put him in a firm first place. But I'm not really sure what the other items that EXO has right here. We do see Jed with triple shrooms.
Oh, the bomb! Oh my god! No way!
That bomb is so huge. That bomb is so huge.
No! No.
Now we see Matt with shrooms in first. We see Jed with one shroom. Taka, I don't think Taka might have a shroom, but they could. But oh my goodness gracious, it's a shame that we didn't switch the POVs because the bomb on RT, that could have been the dagger. That could be the dagger right there.
That could have been it. That could have been it right there. I mean, dude, that I did not see that coming. I can tell you that.
A golden 7th place here. Everyone on EXO is taking the.
No! Oh, ouch! No.
What are you doing, man? What are you doing? It's like 3 or 4 inputs. Ouch.
You have to wait there. Yeah, you have to wait. You got to be a little more patient with that.
I mean, we are seeing EXO in these top spots. I think this is a top 2-4 for them, but like at the same time, it's
a top 2-4 can be pretty good. And we also take into account that L is holding this mega. Jed is holding this mega. So if L has shock, this is yeah, like this could be
Jed's in his mega right now. Could he dodge the shock? Nah, I don't think it's coming.
I don't know why he didn't take respawn there, but I guess.
And I'm not really sure about the looks of it, but
I think Al might have edged it out.
I think Al edged it out. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man! Our legacies were on the line. Oh my lord! We spent that entire maple treeway race just talking about how Al took it home.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, you want to know what was big there? It was definitely the bomb snipe, but like, already, I don't know, after that bomb snipe, you just didn't really see him anywhere. And as we see EXO with the top 2-5, that won't be enough. So, I mean, hey, it's all over, boys. L are your champions.
Lightspeed
D2 champions.
Yep. Lightspeed are the Division 2 champions of GSC Season 3. And it came down to be a lot closer than we thought. But L is edging this one out, and we are seeing just absolute scenes. We got Taka with 100, Matt with 98,
Jed with 87. These guys are just phenomenal at what they do. And I mean, that's about it.
Dude, we're gonna
get an interview going?
Yeah. Come on, we should have someone help on the call.
Hold on. Yeah. Hold on,
I'll have someone help on the cast.
I'm gonna keep it a $150. I don't really know whose job that is. I don't know if it's cynical or stream host. I don't know if it's my job to reach out to them, but I don't know.
But you want to know because EXO lost by 10, but we all know that L has commanded this match, and I said that I would talk about this later. That DKS shock was very questionable.
Oh
now,
my God.
If that does not happen, we could be talking about EXO being the champions here.
That's match changing right there. That is just so match changing. Now that you mention it, obviously RT failing the cut on lap 2, that was pretty bad. All right.
And
we'll just get that out of the way.
Wait. We have a word from chat that there might be a pen from EXO. Maybe. Now I don't know. I'm not saying anything for sure.
I think we're getting pranked. I think we're getting trolled, bamboozled, etc.
It might be a fish. It might be a fish, or we might just be getting finessed out here. But I'm just saying, it could be up for talks if if it actually happened. But I'm thinking L definitely just took it.
Yeah. I think L is gonna take this one home. I mean, again, I don't really know whose job it is to reach out for an interview, but I definitely would like to know how EXO is feeling, or how L is feeling after that one.
Dude, L is definitely like, yo, that was close. Like that was extremely close. But it's just definitely not as bad as EXO here, because listen, you know, it's it, it's just like a butterfly effect. One thing happens can lead to like a hurricane out there.
That I definitely think that this is where we're gonna end it here. We're trying our best in an interview, but it doesn't seem to be working out in our fruition. So thank you guys all for watching. Lightspeed are your Division 2 champions. You can tell all your friends, put it in the family group chat, post it on Twitter. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. So I've been Henry US.
It's been Fresco. Hey, listen, bro, this has been one of the best casts I've ever done. This is like this was super entertaining. Like I appreciate everyone who came out.
For sure.
Hopefully you guys found this entertaining. I appreciate Christian stream hosting as always. He's clutch with it. You can't leave him out of it. Henry too, bro. Like this was fun. This was fun. Like this is definitely one of the better casts.
Whole lot of fun, man. Thank you very much. All right, we'll see you guys next time.
All right, peace.